Boys in the back. Boys.
What is good, Hollywood? We are back with another episode of The Boys in the Back. This time, January 15th, 115 Strawweight Day here at Uncrowned Studios.
How are we celebrating?
Celebrating the best that the women's 115ers have to offer. Zhang Wei Li, Mackenzie Dern, the champion. Extra security at the Golden Globes.
Our girl Verna,
yeah. There's a lot of great 115ers, and we wanted to honor them today on National Strawweight Day here, 115.
Yeah. Salute to all the strawweights.
Salute to all the strawweights. I am 1/3 of the Boys in the Back. I am Conor Burks. That's Mr. New York Rick. You see him right there. We got off the rails with our salute to the 115ers. Frankie, the final third of the Boys in the Back. How you doing back there, brother?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Had orange chicken for lunch, maybe too much broccoli at the expense of everyone else.
Correct.
Wow, yeah. There was a bit of a controversy in the cafeteria today because all the broccoli was missing and Frank had a plate full of it.
Yeah, so the way it works is when they cater the lunch here at Yahoo.
Shout out, by the way.
They have these
service.
Shout out to everybody involved in that. They have these little plates that you pick up and go. Specifically for the orange chicken, they had a separate amount of orange slices and broccoli where it was just like, take this if you are getting the orange chicken. Now, Frank took that as that whole plate of broccoli was his, when in actuality that was supposed to be for each person that takes the orange chicken. And so caused a problem.
Couple florets, couple trees, not the entire thing, Frankie.
I had a forest of broccoli.
Yeah, you sure did. We have a big show today. We'll obviously do super chats and voicemails like we always do. Pound for pound ranking is back. First one in 2026. Heartbreaking cancellations. Times where fights were booked and meant to happen and they ended up never happening, or they got postponed and it hits you right there. One of those ones where you see it and you're like, no, it's got to be a fake outlet. It's got to be a fake outlet. There's no way it's true.
April Fools.
And then it's slowly but surely you find out it actually is true and it completely crushes you. We'll get into that. We'll actually be joined by Ariel Helwani to talk about Kayla Harrison, the latest there, and a little bit more news and notes. Me and Rick will also make our 2026 Champions Future predictions. We're going to go through each division. Who would we take on the odds? We'll look at the odds on the
Would we take or
books.
will we actually take? Let's both take it.
There are a couple that I have already taken.
Okay.
That, last year I had two. I had Shavkat and I had Hamzat. Hamzat hit.
Cassius.
Plus 200, shout out. We'll see if I can do the same this year. We'll get into that.
I'll ride with you on all of them.
There's one that I definitely that I went heavy on.
All
My
right.
Hamzat of last year, we'll get to that later on. Let's start with some news and notes.
Yes.
Out of the world of boxing, Gervonta Davis, the Miami Gardens Police Department has announced that there is a arrest warrant out for Gervonta Tank Davis. The warrant follows an alleged domestic violence incident that took place on October 27th at Tootsie's, a strip club in Miami. He's being accused by ex-girlfriend Courtney Rossell of charges including battery, false imprisonment, and kidnapping. Rossell claims Davis attacked her in the back room of the club before dragging her through the back exit and assaulting her in the parking garage. Police said Wednesday that there is surveillance footage from the club that corroborates the alleged victim's story. This alleged incident is not the first time that Davis has been accused of domestic violence. Most recently, he was charged with striking his ex-girlfriend on the back of the head and then slapping her during an alleged dispute on Father's Day. That case was ultimately dropped after the woman declined to prosecute. So just not good news around Gervonta Tank Davis, and this seems to be a recurring theme for him.
Yeah, and I believe there's also a pending lawsuit from the same woman against Gervonta related to this case. The damning thing here is that there was an alleged assault that took place. The video evidence corroborating that is very bad for Tank Davis, and obviously now he's being pursued by the law. We'll see if they're able to find him. What the next steps are for him from here. But boxing is probably the last thing to talk about when it comes to Tank at this moment. It has seemed over the last year or so to be going completely off the rails, and now we see it as maybe even further than we would have wanted or expected. And so, let's not talk or hear about Tank Davis until all this is resolved, because there's not much more to say, especially if the heinous things that are being alleged are now being by police said to be corroborated by video. Bad stuff.
Yeah, and that parlayed with the way that he's talking about the sport of boxing, I agree. We don't need to hear about Tank Davis getting in the ring. You can obviously follow along at uncrown.com. Darshan Desai putting up a more thorough article on what happened, as you can see there. Some other news and notes. Dana White joined Complex for an interview. Talked about a lot of stuff. A lot of clips coming out of this one. We'll start with what he had to say about the potential of Conor McGregor fighting Chandler at the White House.
January 23rd is Zuffa Boxing. January 24th is the first UFC. And then after that card, we'll start working on the White House fight.
I know there's like all the talk of Michael Chandler and Conor. Do you see like that as like a realistic thing
No,
happening?
I mean, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, so that's nothing you'd entertain for the White House?
No.
So interesting to hear when Chandler's talking to reporters, interviews. I believe he was with Brett Okamoto and said that he's felt like it's never been closer before. Conor McGregor's tweeting out, here's Michael Chandler's exact quote. "The odds are higher than they have ever been. It's no secret. He wants to fight me, and I want to fight him. He wants to fight at the White House. I want nothing more." That's Michael Chandler last week about fighting Conor McGregor for ESPN.
Notably absent from that quote, Dana White and the UFC want this fight because it did seem like there was a time, but Dana did not seem so keen on that in that interview with Complex.
To the point that Conor McGregor, to Chandler's point, Conor McGregor is tweeting out like, "Oh, let's do." He said this afterward. I don't know if this is directly responding to what came out, but he says, "You can run, but you can't hide fact."
Did you almost do a little accent there? Was there like some Conor slipping out there?
Listen, lad. Anytime I hear him, "What's up, lads?" Anytime I hear him, I can't help.
You started with
No
the "What's
problem,
good
mate,
Hollywood." Like we got a lot of Conor on the show.
No problem, mate. Yeah, it's hard to not do one. He also was tweeting though last week, talking about, me and Floyd should fight in MMA at the White House.
Oh yeah.
But then he's like, "Just kidding, Mike."
Yeah, but is he?
It's definitely not going to be Floyd Mayweather.
Here are the questions I have coming out of that. Obviously, something has shifted for Dana, right? Go flashback to not that long ago. Dana is talking about Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler at the White House. Makes a lot of sense, right? That has always been the storyline. That has always been what we've been given and talked about and supported. There are things that we have to wonder coming out of this. One, he's saying, "I'm not interested." He didn't necessarily say that he's not interested in having Conor McGregor fight in the White House card, right? But you do wonder if he's no longer interested in Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler because he's not thinking about Conor McGregor's return anymore, right? We have seen this from him in the past. Flashback to the prior time before Conor McGregor announced his comeback, when it was like Conor McGregor was like, "I'm coming back, I'm coming back, I'm coming back." And every time Dana White was asked about it, he'd be like, "I haven't seen the commitment yet. I want to see him in the testing pool," the hesitancy, right? This is echoes of that for me. This reflects that same kind of like, something else is going on here behind the scenes, and I'm just like blocking it out or going to deflect away from it and something else. I don't know if it's on the Conor McGregor side, where it's like, again, Dana White has now lost confidence in Conor McGregor coming back, or if he's just not interested in that Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler matchup, which seemed to be the matchup that everybody wanted to see, including the UFC, including Conor, including Michael, and they had previously announced before it was canceled, or if they actually already have a plan in place for Conor McGregor and it does not involve Michael Chandler. God love Michael Chandler. It seems like he's the last to know on all these situations. It seems like when the UFC and Conor McGregor are making moves together, Michael Chandler's the one who's kind of just like, "I'm following along for the ride and I get in on whatever you guys are doing." Maybe he just doesn't know and the UFC is already planning something else. Or maybe Conor's in the wind again. I don't know.
I don't know where Dana White stands on like his effort in promoting, but you would think if they had plans for Conor McGregor, he would at least allude to that. Now we got something else planned. It's not gonna be Chandler.
All right, that's a fair point. If it was somebody else, he'd be like, "I'm not." Yeah, it's a bizarre piece of footage. I got to be honest. Like, because all this time it's been like, hey, the things are kind of aligning for Conor McGregor to fight at the White House, and Michael Chandler's the one that would be so obvious, and they booked him previously. Let's just go that direction. I will say, one of us on the prediction show predicted that Conor McGregor would not fight at the White House card, and that in its place, you could do something like, I don't know, Alex Pereira and John Jones at the White House?
Well, Dana was asked about that as well. Here's what he had to say.
I saw recently, too, that Joe Rogan was saying that you should just have Alex fight John Jones at the White House. Is that something you feel like?
At 205?
I mean, yeah, I guess, or
Yeah, I mean, that would be a fight, but can I count on John Jones?
yeah.
Can't have John Jones doing something bad or pulling out of the fucking White House fight.
All right, two things there. He is sticking to his guns on like,
Yeah.
bro, I just can't trust you with a card of this magnitude, John.
Right.
I'm sorry. He's sticking to his guns there. Secondly, like him just playing coy, like the interviewer asked him just, yeah, I heard about Rogan said maybe
Yeah.
Alex for Sean Jones, and he's like, 205?
Yeah.
It's just like you know it is. It wouldn't happen at 205. Like you are not dumb. John Jones is already at heavyweight. Alex Pereira has been making all these references. I'm going to heavyweight. I'm going to heavyweight.
Yeah.
Me versus John Jones at the White House. Like he knows it's heavyweight, and then him to just be like 205, and then the interview is just like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, it seems like he's sticking to his guns though. That John Jones won't be on that card.
Forgive me for not always believing what Dana White says. I do think that if put into a scenario where you are absent Conor McGregor, we want to punish John Jones for leaving us high and dry in the Tom Aspinall situation starts to get less and less powerful. The feeling of that, the vindictive element of that, and Dana, as we all know, can be a vindictive guy. But I do believe that will kind of dissipate when you're staring down the barrel of like Kayla Harrison. Who knows if she's going to be available for a White House fight at this point, right? Now that we know that she's had neck surgery. Conor McGregor, we just heard him be like non-committal on like Conor's next move. Conor versus Chandler is not interesting. There ain't many names left.
Okay, would it shock you at all if it just ends up being like ho-hum? It's not that crazy.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
it would.
Okay, so like I was going back, just like looking at some cards and fight cancellations and stuff with the whole Kayla thing and everything. Like UFC 200 at one point was supposed to have McGregor Diaz 2 on it. Was supposed to have John Jones versus Daniel Cormier 2 on it, and it ends up being headlined by Miesha Tate and Amanda Nunes. UFC 300 was supposed to be the greatest card of all time. It was a fantastic card, but ends up being headlined by Alex Pereira and Jamal Hill. Would you be shocked if the whole time leading up, it's going to be Conor McGregor, it's going to be John Jones? Is this person going to come back? Is it going to be Ronda Rousey? And then it just ends up being X versus X that isn't overly impressive.
I would be shocked, but only because I think they will guard very strongly against the scenario that you've laid out, which is like we don't have enough underneath that if we lose the main event, it's going to feel like a lesser product. The Nunes fight is a great fight. That was already on the card. John Jones pulling out of the fight, I think, during fight week and Daniel Cormier getting that call is obviously kind of the nail in the coffin there. I think they will have enough in place that if a fight week cancellation like that comes to fruition, that they'll have enough lined up behind it. We're hearing John Anik coming out on interviews talking about 5 or 6 title fights. I don't know if it'll be that, but I think they'll have title-worthy level fights on this card that if something falls out, even the main event, it will probably be okay. But I would, sitting here right now today, my inclination, and I've felt this way all along, is that I believe that John Jones and Alex Pereira will headline this card and not Conor McGregor. I just feel like the wind is blowing in that direction. The Conor McGregor element has been harder to wrangle than the John Jones element. I know he turned down the $30 million. I know he left them high and dry. I know Dana White hates it. I'm sure other
million
people,
for the kitchen scraps.
$30 million for the kitchen scraps. I know a lot of people at the UFC are probably not huge fans of John Jones right now. It has really caused havoc in this division. We've got this whole now separate side thing going on with Cyril Gane and Tom Aspinall as a result of not having finished this business. But John Jones fought more recently. John Jones, I think, could get more easily, more believably into a good fighting shape and be ready for a challenge like Alex Pereira. Then I believe Conor McGregor is coming back. That said, if there was ever a moment for Conor McGregor to fight, it is this one. This is the one that if you are Conor McGregor, those other things can't be interesting to you. Just like you're on a new broadcast network, I've been here, done that. I headlined the biggest ESPN show. Like these things can't be interesting to Conor McGregor anymore. He's got so many different things going on, all these businesses. The White House, I think, would still be significant for him, and it would also help those other businesses. If he was ever going to fight, it's going to be this one. But something in me, something gnawing at me makes me think it's going to be John versus Alex.
All right, so that's the final prediction. John versus Alex. Not just John versus anybody.
it's going to depend on who's available and who's, who's healthy enough to fight at that time. If Conor McGregor's healthy, you go with Conor McGregor versus a broomstick. It doesn't matter who you put in there. Michael Chandler, Nate Diaz, Dustin Poirier, you, me, it doesn't matter who's in there. You put Conor McGregor on that card. But absent that, you're going to need some star power, and you don't get bigger stars outside of Conor than John and Alex.
One other quote that he said during the interview that was interesting, addressing criticism surrounding Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. Diego Lopez obviously getting the title shot. He said, if you don't like it, don't watch it.
Great. Good sell, Dana. Love it.
Yeah, I feel like that's like what I say like when we're like on the watch party and people are like, this guy sounds like Kermit the Frog. It's like, all right, well, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it.
Yep.
This guy is the promoter for this organization. And he's like, you don't like what we're doing? Don't watch it.
There's part of me that respects that. There's part of me that respects a little bit of the demeanor there, like I don't give a F. But the problem is the announcement videos and the other things are very clearly like I don't give an F, but not in the rebel way, but more in the I'm checked out way. So it's the whole kind of package together. But there is part of me that kind of likes Dana telling people to kick rocks and kiss his ass a little bit.
He also was very unapologetically, unentertained by Alex Pereira, Tracy Cortez. He was asked about it. He said, I don't give a shit.
See, I will say, of the yesterday's announcement, I don't give a shit, I'm apathetic, I can't wait to get out of this room and stop this IG Live, versus don't ask me about Alex Pereira and Tracy Cortez. I do kind of fancy more that version of I don't give a shit Dana White.
One last thing, he was asked about Arman Sarukian.
Yeah, shout out to Complex. They're doing some work here.
I actually saw him do a couple interviews, and people were like, "Damn, his interviews aren't hitting the same. They're not getting really clipped out." This one, there are quite a few clips on it. And I imagine if you went to the full YouTube video, which I haven't sat down and watched it yet.
We've seen it all.
It's going to be 20 minutes, and it's just each clip, just
exactly.
Put together. But he was asked about Arman Sarukian's situation, and he said, "Sarukian had his opportunity. He didn't take it. I have to be able to count on somebody if they're going to fight for a world championship. It's not like he hasn't had the opportunity. There was a time when Bilal Muhammad had won so many in a row. Bilal was like, how many fucking fights do I have to win to get a title shot? This is not like that."
No, it's not like that. It makes even less sense that Arman would not get a title shot. The Dana Arman had his shot thing, I will never understand.
Yeah, neither can I. Shout out to Complex, getting a lot there. Let's bring in our friend, the man who normally sits in this chair, Mr. Ariel Helwani. Ariel, were you able to see? Hey, there he is. Nice champion hoodie, man. You're looking good.
Oh, yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Long-time watcher and listener.
Thank you.
Not first-time guester. Do want to give a shout-out to everyone in the control room. I know they do a great job, especially the WFB doing a phenomenal job. Shout out to the boys in the back as well. But I was enjoying the conversation. Not much to add. I mean, if I'm being honest, Rick had to kind of really convince me to come on today because I feel like I've said enough this week. I feel like I've said enough.
Nah, there's never enough.
And then the chat will get mad at me and be like, "Oh, Ariel's trying to, he's trying to encroach on their territory." Let it be known, I was enjoying my time here. I was asked to come in. I'm happy to impart some wisdom if need be.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Were you able to consume any of those recent Dana White clips that just came out this morning? Did you see his talk about Conor McGregor, his talk about Alex and John?
Yeah, in the TV business, guys, as you know, a big part of the TV business, when you do multiple things on the same day, but know that it's going to come out on different days, a wardrobe change would be nice, right? I mean, he's wearing the same freaking tracksuit in every single video here. So it's kind of dating all the chats. And, at this point, the Complex one we know was from last week.
Yeah.
And we know in the world of UFC, a lot can change in the span of 5, 6, 7 days. I did see that clip. I did reach out to Chandler's team. I did reach out to Conor's team as well. Everything that I had heard leading up to this from both sides was this was the plan. And, DC said something to us yesterday that I thought was very interesting when I asked him about one of the answers in those interviews. I think it was the one with Robbie Fox where he was asked about Jones and DC doing the reality show and if he knew about it.
Yeah.
And I think DC was being very kind when he said yeah, of course he knew about it. Maybe he just forgot in the moment. And so I'm not saying that he's lying. I'm not saying that he's trying to dupe us, but I had in all my chats leading up to this, I have never heard of a plan B. I have always heard that that's what they're shooting for, which is, completely a 180 from his demeanor in that clip where he dismisses it like it's a fight from 3 years ago. Like he's being asked about Leon Edwards versus Jorge Masvidal. It's just like, what? What are you talking about? So I've reached out. I haven't heard back. It feels like maybe something's lost there. Definitely news to me. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about what you made of the body language, but I think you've kind of touched on that. I would maybe chalk it up to, we saw those interviews last week. He probably wasn't in the best of moods, and it seemed like he couldn't wait to get that little media tour over. Maybe he just wasn't
you don't
interested.
think? I didn't think he was in a bad mood per se. I just thought he was disconnected and disinterested. That's
that's what I mean.
Disinterested and disconnected. Dana.
Those things tend to go hand in hand. As an example, right?
Yeah.
We saw Oscar Willis sit down with him recently. I thought that was one of the best Danas I've seen in a long time. The energy was there. He was answering the questions.
Yeah.
He seemed to have some vigor. When he gets in that mood where he's just short answers, that sounds good. That sounds good. You can tell he just doesn't want to be there. He probably hopped off a flight. Maybe his Meniere's is acting up. Who knows? But it seemed like it was in line with more of that, as you said. He's wearing the exact same thing.
Rick with a shot at the Meniere's.
Yeah.
Holy.
Wait.
This is a throwback.
I was going to say, I'm actually unaware of this. What is his Meniere's?
There's an equilibrium thing in the ear. It's a disease where it throws you off. It puts you in a completely weird body space. You physically feel ill from how bad this equilibrium unbalancing is. And Dana had this. Then he got some surgery or something many years ago, and it was all.
Oh, that is a shot. That is a real shot.
No, it's not a shot. I'm just saying.
I remember it was, not to go on a whole tangent.
No, let's do it.
Poirier versus Korean Zombie, Fairfax, Virginia, May of 2012. The first event that Dana White missed. It was the first event that he missed. It was a fight night on a Thursday or Wednesday, I think Thursday in Fairfax, UFC on Fuel TV. And it was massive news that Dana wasn't there. Now, he's going to what, 75% of them, 65%? And it was because it acted up and he just couldn't be there. So, this is what we talk about when we talk about the passion, right?
Yeah, he was there no matter what.
News that he wasn't in attendance. There's a lot on the plate right now, a lot going on. I do think, by the way, Rick, you bring up a good point regarding the Oscar interview of, I think it was mid-December or so, early December, and the one. To be honest, a lot of that does fall, if we're being 100% honest, on the interviewer.
Sure.
You need to challenge him a little bit. You need to bring good topics, asking about some stuff that he doesn't care about. And the minutia, so to speak, when he's not really involved in the minutia, is probably not going to get him going. So, I know you and Oscar are BFF, but to be honest, it's because he conducted a good interview.
You just made Oscar's day.
That's a little bit on, in this new era of disinterested and disconnected Dana, I do think it's on the interviewers to actually bring it and get him to, be a little bit more excited about the stuff that he's talking about.
Second time you use that. Is that the new nickname, Triple D?
Okay, so now, if I was a guest, I would have to roll through this, but since I'm an EP on this show, someone has their microphone open, and I hear the control room, and I don't hear you guys. So who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? It's probably Frank. My guess is Frank, because by the way, for the last 2 minutes, I didn't hear anything, and I was just hearing the control. Who is it, Frank? Frank, was it you? Did you have the microphone?
Jordan, I told you, turn it off.
Yeah.
How often does this happen to guests?
Yeah, I want to know.
Literally right after you just complimented us, Frank goes and
I know.
screws it all up.
What a moment.
So all I heard from you, Conor, there was
You didn't miss anything.
I was saying that's the third time you used dishonest, disinterested.
No,
Dana,
not dishonest.
Triple D. What did you say?
disinterested and disconnected.
Disinterested, disconnected Dana, Triple D.
Not bad.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
By the way, 2 bangers in 24 hours. That one and Metapex.
Metapex is here to stay. I feel like that is here to stay.
Looking for my baseball. It's, I'm still.
I actually think
unlike others, I think I'm throwing. Oh, you got one there. You got one there. You got the Schleider.
What are we hitting on the gun? What do we think? 90, 99?
I still feel like we got it. Some people are throwing
Triple digits?
Look at this.
We got the Schleider.
What do you do?
You got a.
What do we got?
It's a quick.
2-seam, 4-seam right here?
Yeah, no, I'm a big 2-seam guy. I'm a big 2 and a knuckler.
I was gonna say a little curve.
Good knuckler with the
A little knuckle. All right. The reason we brought you on is not for this breaking news.
I do want to ask before we move on. No, before we move on to Kayla. Alex and John. He's asked about that. He seemed a little more interested in that, right? He seemed to like give a little more of an answer while still saying, I don't really trust John Jones. Anything to make of that one, or still much to do about nothing? Maybe Dana's mood was the influence here.
I got to tell you, I can't wait for June 15th, 2026.
To be gone?
Yeah.
This is a repeat of UFC 300.
I want the Monday after, like 14th.
Oh,
I want the
okay.
Monday
Yeah.
after. You know what I mean?
Hell
I
yeah.
can't wait for this because like us having to break down all these little things. Like one time he doesn't like John on the card. Now he's liking it. One time he says, Pereira, John doesn't make sense. Now it sort of makes sense. Who the hell knows? I mean, listen, I still maintain if the White House and if 47 says, I want this, I think they're going to make it happen. And so when do we get to the point that, the White House starts asking for things?
Yeah.
Because I could see them saying, like, why not this fight? And maybe there'll be some collaboration and some pushback, but I could definitely see that being a thing that happens on the road to this fight. I'll tell you what, though, I feel like for the first time we could take out the pencil and pencil in a fight.
Yeah.
I feel like we could pencil in a fight. Do you know what that fight is?
No.
Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes. I feel like that's the fight. Let's get into it, shall we?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so they use the word postponed. Everything that I'm hearing is Amanda's not going to fight at 324, and there's even a graphic out with the new lineup, and she's not on there. There's no TBD, and they could certainly add her, but
Yeah.
it sounds to me like the hope is she won't fight, they will fight, and the penciling in, the hope is that it will be on that card. I think that's the new hope, right? And the timeline would work given what we've heard, given what we've learned over the last 24 or so hours. And it sucks that it happened. It's scary. Kayla Harrison ain't going down like this. This is not the end of Kayla Harrison. I've seen some people say like, oh, this is maybe, a buildup of all the weight cuts. And certainly it's a buildup of her incredible athletic career. You forget she had a whole other career prior to this career, and then the run in PFL, and now the run in the UFC at 135. But she's not going out like this. And I thought from the beginning, the perfect fight was her versus Amanda at the White House, right? She has to be on this card. Two-time Olympic gold medalist, all that stuff and more. And that's the biggest fight for her. Obviously, if she would have won, her versus anyone would be great. If she would have lost, I still felt like she should have been on the card. But now it's one of those things where it's like, man, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world. You want to have the biggest guns, the biggest fights. And, I know that they're not going to make it USA versus the world, but a two-time Olympic gold medalist certainly deserves to be fighting on the White House, front lawn. So I feel like that's the new plan. No one will fight in between. Let's see what happens between now and then. It's still, exactly, 5 months yesterday. So the clock is ticking away. It's getting closer, no doubt. But I feel like that's the new plan now. And, we saw the video that she posted today. Heartbreaking to see. Actually sent it to my mom, who was enamored with her from our live show in Miami, and she was so sad for her. It's really hard to see. She's just such a good person, and no one deserves that. And I thought she was very classy in her response, first apologizing to Amanda. And we haven't heard anything from Amanda. I haven't seen anything from Amanda. But I thought it was really, really cool of her to put it out there, get in front of it, and apologize and say that she will be back. Speaking of Amanda, by the way, what about Amanda Serrano throwing her name into the hat? That's a wild, wild thing that I did not see coming. And obviously, it's probably not going to happen. We all know that. Here's the tweet. If UFC and Amanda Nunes are thinking of a replacement, I would love to challenge. As I'm still in fight shape, hope the champ recovers well. Of course, she just fought, I think it was on January 3rd, and won that fight. Obviously, probably not going to happen. But when speaking to people close to her, the sentiment was like, we're not doing this for PR. It's genuine. Again, I know it's probably not going to happen. They're not going to sign her to do it, MVP, all that stuff. But I thought it was a pretty nice move. Classic Chael Sonnen school, right? Maybe get some brownie points for raising your hand, and kind of shows the kind of gamer that she is. So, again, don't think it's going to happen. I think the current hope and plan would be to pencil in this fight for the White House, and that's probably, Dana said it himself, greatest female fight of all time. Feels like a perfect place for a card like that.
Okay, so you mentioned penciling it in for the White House. Obviously, these are just estimates, and coming from the Eagle Tribune, like we can't be fully certain. This isn't from her doctor, but she had the surgery 2 days ago on the 13th, which is 5 months. from the White House. And what they were saying in the article is that she's going to need at least 6 months of rehab to get back. Do we worry that she will not be back in time for the White House card?
Let's see. She is an insane athlete, but the people that I spoke to were saying like gung ho to get, the train rolling again in 3. Is that optimistic? Too optimistic? Is that crazy? Who knows? I'm not going to doubt her, but I think somewhere in a hospital room in New York City right now, because that's where she had the surgery, she is telling herself, I'm fighting on that White House card. If I know Kayla like I know her, I think that's the goal. That's the thing. That's the card she wants to be a part of. Talk to us about the dinner with Donald Trump and Dana White. Like, obviously, the president knows who she is and seems to be an admirer of hers and all that stuff. So I would think that she is going to be sitting there saying, I'm going to do whatever I can. Now, neck injuries are nothing to scoff at and to take lightly, but as of right this second, January 15th, I would imagine that's her target.
You mentioned Kayla's message. We want to play that just so people hear it from her and see what she had to say from the hospital.
Hi guys. I just wanted to give a bit of an update on my end. Yeah, this is a tough one. I had to have surgery on my neck yesterday here in New York City with the specialist, Dr. Kim. So in lieu of that, obviously we're going to have to reschedule the fight. And I just want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Amanda. I was really looking forward to it, and I just want to thank everyone. I want to thank the UFC for taking such good care of me, Dr. D and Jen and the whole team over there. I want to thank Dr. Kim here in New York for seeing me and taking such good care of me. I want to thank my mom who's taking care of my kids at home. I want to thank all my coaches on American Top Team and all my teammates. This is day 1 of recovery and the road back starts now. I don't know God's plans. I know He knows that this is my dream. So I gotta praise Him in the mountains and I gotta praise Him in the valleys. And so I'm grateful for this. I hope that it brings me closer to Him and that He uses this story in a mighty way. So that's it. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be back soon.
Man, it's just heartbreaking to watch. Like the fact that she's apologizing when she's going through this gruesome injury and had to travel and leave her family to get this surgery done. Really, I mean, it is just heartbreaking. But with the fact of the injury being the neck and the timeline being so short and how much rehab, it does give me pause on her ability to fight on the White House card.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's so fresh right now, right? So you have to see how someone responds and
Definitely.
and how the rehab goes and all that stuff. And so let's see. There's obviously not that many great options as we discussed yesterday in that particular weight class. This was the best fight by far. I haven't heard from Juliana Pena yet. I was expecting to hear from her.
No, we did.
Yeah, I think
we did.
I think she posted a couple IG stories.
Let's show it.
There it is.
Where you at, Amanda? Channeling Diaz brothers. A little promo, a little poster for Nunes.
Boom.
3.
All right. So true to form.
For sure.
I was surprised.
And respect to her for doing it. We also obviously heard from Norma Dumont, as we mentioned yesterday. I'm curious for your perspective. It seemed like yesterday, like we were reacting to it in real time, going like, are they going to replace her? Are they not? Are you surprised that they are preserving the fight? Are you surprised that they said, let's postpone this as opposed to try to find somebody for Amanda?
So here's what we don't know. We don't know if they went to Amanda and said, "Do you want to stay or not?"
Yep.
You know what I mean? She hasn't said anything, unless I've
No,
missed
I don't
that
think
as
so.
well.
We
I
haven't
haven't
seen
seen any posts or anything like that. So it's possible that they went and asked her, "Do you want to stay?" You know, I didn't think the interim thing made a lot of sense, but just, do you want to stay? I feel like Amanda at this point is bigger than a belt. She's been there, done that. Just seeing her come back is of great interest, in my opinion. So we don't know. Like I said, I still maintain, if I know the UFC, like I think I know the UFC, they would have at least broached the subject. But if they feel confident that Kayla's going to be back, you know, and able to train 3-4 months and then be ready for that White House card, which yesterday I thought was a little lofty, then it's also possible that they say, let's just, you know, live to fight another day and push this down the line.
Do you think there's still a chance? Do you think it's like like this is for sure postponed?
The fact that the word postpone has been out there, and the bout order and all this stuff, and now that I'm hearing more about, you know, the hope of being on the White House card, feels like that's what they're going to go with.
If Kayla's timeline ends up being longer, right? If let's say she can't make the White House card and they have to have another plan, what do you think the UFC does in that scenario? Where do you think the planning begins? Like, does Amanda Nunes wait longer? Does she try to take another opponent? At that point, does a Norma Dumont or a Juliana Pena or even an Amanda Serrano or something crazy like that become appealing? Or is it just, we don't know, we'll have to kind of see how that plays out? I'm just wondering, if Kayla can't come back as soon as we hope she does, what happens to Amanda Nunes? Because her fate is almost a little bit tied to Kayla in a way that's unique to her.
Like, you're suggesting if Kayla doesn't come back, she's just going to go back to retirement?
Does she? I'm wondering that.
Yeah. I mean, just trying to think about it from my perspective. If you make the decision to come back and you're getting tested and you go through the training camp and you're days away now, let's say 2 weeks by the time she found out, maybe a little less, I feel like you want to get it out of your system. And you know, by the way, not for nothing, I know people roll their eyes. She is 1-1 against Juliana. Like, she does have a loss. They are tied. I know that, you know, she won the last one, but it's not like she beat her, you know, 2-0. So there's a story there, and Norma, there's a story as well. Like I said, not a ton of options, but there's at least 2 that I could think of. There's at least 2 that I would sign up for and be interested in, without a doubt. I'd be 100% interested in the Juliana trilogy because Juliana's talked a lot about her, and I would be interested in the Norma fight. Norma is currently ranked number 3, Raquel Pennington number 2. Are there options for her at 145? Probably not. Unless they want to sign Larissa Pacheco, but they're friends, it seems. So
I'd watch that.
That would be an interesting fight. That would be an interesting fight for sure. But I feel like there's at least 2 fights for her, and I feel like if she's come this far, she might as well, you know, see it through.
I took a very hardline stance yesterday where I was like, I don't want to see Amanda versus anybody but Kayla. If the timeline gets too long, if we're looking at Kayla's coming back in Q4, that changes for me. And as you said, I don't think it's goofy at all to imagine a Pena Nunes trilogy. I think that's a fantastic fight, and I think Norma Dumont has earned her spot too. I don't have any problem with if we know for certain Kayla Harrison is out for an extended amount of time, and Amanda Nunes wants to fight and then have that Kayla Harrison fight. That's where my stance changes, and I would be open to either of those 2 options.
In 2026, do we see Amanda Nunes fight?
I say yes.
I say yes.
And Kayla Harrison?
Yes.
I say yes.
And they fight each other?
Yes.
I hope so. Yeah. I hope so.
I think Ariel has nailed it in terms of like, even from the hospital bed, right? She's talking about this is the start of the comeback. Like, she is one of those uber elite top of the food chain type athletes. I can't imagine this keeping her down. Like, think about like Ben Askren, right? When everybody's giving him timelines and this is how long it's going to take to do this, and we don't know if he's ever going to do XYZ again. And then you look at the guy today and he's bouncing around the wrestling mats. Like, when you're that level of athlete, when you're that level of competitor, I just can't imagine Kayla just being down for that long. Like, even if it is the end of the year, I'm fairly certain she'll be back this year.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't think it'll be White House. I think it'll be a little later, just because with the White House timeline, like, you got to go through rehab, you got to go through a camp and everything like that, and the neck injury is very serious. But I do think she will bounce back and fight this year.
I hope so, man. I was so looking forward to that fight. I mean, I was obviously, you know, some people are trying to stick it to me and be like, you see, this is why they weren't the main event.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Stop that nonsense.
That's ridiculous. You can't predict a neck injury.
Of course. The weight thing. Look, if she would have missed weight, then I would have accepted that. That's obviously a big thing. But come on, get out of here with this. This could happen to anyone, and no one wants to see this happen to anyone. It sucks, but I can't get over just how similar the beginning of this era is to the beginning of the ESPN era. They had a lot of trouble with that first show. A lot of fights weren't coming together. The first couple shows weren't blockbuster. But I'll tell you what gets me really excited about the Paramount Plus era. Do you know what gets me really excited about the Paramount Plus era? They have classed up the joint. The announcement that the inimitable, the incomparable Kate Scott is going to be hosting the events. Wow, 324, at least 324. They said 324. She's obviously the face of their soccer coverage, studio host for Champions League, and does an incredible job doing boxing on DAZN, has done PBC and the Netflix cards as well. I've worked with her. I obviously know her. She is so professional. She is so prepared. She takes her job so seriously. She is so talented, in my opinion. To have someone of her stature as the host, if you will, pre-show, post-show, nothing's changing as far as the broadcast is concerned. But I do like that CBS. It reminds me a little bit of when Fox got into it with the UFC. They said they wanted Kurt Menefee on that first show. They wanted one of their own, one of their faces. They had Jay Glazer do some of the events as well. I like that CBS is saying, you guys are doing production. We get that. All these faces are new. I do think the desk trio of Bisping and Cruz and Weidman is interesting. That's a bit of a new one, if you will. It feels like they're trying to bring out some of their best analysts for this big show. But Kate, to me, like when you see Kate, you think professional, you think big event. I did not see this coming. I didn't think that they would do this, but I think it's a really great move. And I'm curious to see how she does with MMA, because obviously she's historically linked to boxing and really, really knows her boxing very well. I think this is a really, really cool and interesting move on their part.
Yeah, I like it from the perspective that it just mixes things up a little bit, right? It gives you a look at some talent that wasn't previously there. Like, I know that Stephen A. wasn't exactly loved when he came into the UFC broadcast and did some ancillary content, but I appreciated what they were trying to do there. Like, just to try to meld the elements of what we have here with Paramount, what we have with the UFC, and just go beyond, like, more of the same. The shows look exactly the same. It's the same people. I like the element of that. Maybe it leads to some kind of innovation, even if this is not some massive success. But to your point, like, Kate is a pro's pro.
I also
and
think it'll hit a little bit harder because Stephen A. is, they brought him in sort of as an analyst role, and sometimes he didn't fully know what he was talking. Yeah, an opinionist.
100%.
Whereas Kate Scott is going to do what she always does, which is excellent work.
Yeah.
She is such, I was just going to say that. Bringing in Stephen A. as the opinionist is a tough role, and the fans are sometimes going to be like, who are you? What the hell do you know about this? Unfairly or fairly. Kate is the ultimate point guard. Like, to me, Kate, Ernie Johnson, two of the very best right now as far as like studio hosts. I just think she's absolutely elite. She's hosted the World Cup on Fox and so many other things. She's gonna know her role. She's gonna distribute. She's gonna try to make the others look good. She's gonna have fun. She's gonna be classy. Like, man, what a great decision. I think I really think that this is very, very cool on their part, and it gets me excited. I'm excited to see how it all kind of looks. And it needed a bit of a freshening up. I've said this ad nauseum this week. All this stuff interests me. So, like, is the music going to change? The theme music, the graphics, the way they present the shows, is it going to be same old, same old? I know Dana likes to stick with the same old at times, witness, face the pain. But it's fun sometimes to freshen things up, when there's an opportunity to do so.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Can't wait. 9 days away. We're almost there. The kickoff of the Paramount Plus era. Ariel, thanks so much as always, brother. Appreciate you.
What about
joining
this?
it.
You guys one of these?
What do you got?
You guys got one of these? What do you got? You got the new kit?
With the stripes and the collar?
Looking good.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad at all. I got an old school one.
Yeah, which one you got? You got the Labatt's?
Yeah, like the 90s Labatt's one. It's
yellow or red?
No, it's red. The Euro fitting kind of has the sleeves a little tight,
Yeah, you got to go like one size up with the Euro kits.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. It's tough. But no, usually over there I have the Bills jersey. You didn't take that down, did you?
It's right by. It's
It's there.
It's not on the chair.
No,
you didn't take that.
You want me to put it on?
Okay. Well,
Thanks for joining us, Ariel. See you later.
Swing around real quick. Let me just see the back.
Bye.
Huh?
Ariel Helwani, everybody.
Thank you, Ariel. That was good. I do want to. We were talking about Norma Dumont. We mentioned it in the course of the conversation. I do want to show her quote because we have it. I do want to just like provide some additional context. We showed the tweets. We showed the IG post from Juliana. We showed the tweet from Amanda. Norma Dumont also threw her hat in the ring. She said, "I already told the UFC that I've kept my weight down because I knew this might happen. I'm training. I'm good. I'm available to fight in 10 days, in a month, in 2 or 3 months. I'm ready to go. Whatever the UFC decides, we're waiting. Maybe we'll have a new interim title with Amanda." So it seems like, with Kayla out, there's a lot of people who are seeing an opportunity to get a fight with Amanda Nunes, as you should, right? She's one of the bigger names in women's MMA, if not the biggest going right now. And I don't blame them. But as we said yesterday, I think we, all agreed, even Ariel, even though he's presenting the alternative outcome, that Kayla and Amanda special. And you really just don't want to like sacrifice that unless you have to.
No doubt. My ultimate feelings on the situation, ultimate prediction on what I think will happen is that Amanda Nunes waits for Kayla Harrison to return. It's not in time for the White House, and they fight later this year, whether it's an August, September, or even a Q4 fight. I just feel with the severity of the injury, that's how this one plays out.
I think so too. If they did have to do an interim title, let's say like, again, I'm presenting a world where Kayla Harrison's out for a bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put Amanda in it. You don't need Amanda in that. Like DC proposed that yesterday, right? When DC was talking to Ariel yesterday, he was like, just have Amanda fight somebody. You hope she wins, and then you've got a belt on her and a belt on Kayla. I don't think Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison needs another belt. I think you do something like, if you have to move the division on for a moment, you do Norma, Juliana Pena. You could do worse than that. You do top contenders, have an interim title, and then the winner of that can face the winner of Amanda and Kayla. Don't do anything to compromise this, even if Kayla Harrison's going to be out for a bit. That's my feeling.
Yeah, I'm with you. The division doesn't have enough intrigue. It doesn't have enough up-and-coming contenders vying for the belt. Like, obviously, we mentioned Norma Dumont. Juliana Pena is still at the top of the division, but like isn't next in line for a shot at the belt. She's coming off a loss. To me, there isn't enough contendership and enough heat around the division to force it forward when you have this mega fight. I mean, it's the biggest 100%. Fight you can make in women's right now.
Yeah, and if let's say you did a Pena versus Dumont, you could be Dumont can get on the mic and be like, I just beat the girl who beat you. I'm going to show you what's really what, Amanda Nunes. Come if you're ready. Kayla Harrison, you're next too. Or if you're Juliana Pena, obviously that's built in, the rivalry with Amanda Nunes. So we'll see how this all shakes out. Most important, Kayla Harrison, speedy recovery,
1,000%.
Get herself back on track, and then prepare for that fight. You can tell how much it means to her. We played that whole video.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she is absolutely gutted. To your point, like, you don't have to apologize to anybody, even though I know that it feels like the world is looking at her right now. Like,
please don't apologize to anyone. I mean, you're dealing with a serious injury. Your dreams are getting taken away from this. So please, speedy recovery, because she really is genuinely like one of the nicest people in combat sports.
Sitting there in Miami and hearing her talk about this fight, like I think
we'll get it.
So fucking pumped,
I think we'll get it just at a later date this year. So speedy recovery to Kayla Harrison. Some other news and notes from around the world of combat sports. Paddy Pimblett sat down with Fox Sports Australia, our guy Nico Pajarillo.
Shout out, Nico.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but he's the absolute man. Some great skits that he does for them. A great follow on Instagram. But Paddy Pimblett had a few things to say. First up, talking about fighting Arman Sarukian.
I hope I eventually fight Arman because I want to shut him up. He's a little idiot. I'd love to beat him up. Everyone thinks his grappling's unbelievable. I don't think it's that good at all. You know, if you can't submit Shara Bullet, lad, who's a striker who can't grapple, then I don't think your grappling's that good at all. Before he fought Danuka, I thought that Arman may have been a tougher fight for me stylistically than Ilia. But after watching that fight, he's not. Ilia's a much tougher fight.
Both Paddy and Justin, they have a massive fight, main event of UFC 324 in 9 days. And I saw a quote of Justin Gaethje being like, yeah, I'm going to beat Paddy, and then I got to go beat Ilia, and then I got to get it back from Charles and Max. And they're making all these plans. Same thing with Paddy. He's like, got to go fight Arman, and Ilia after that. Like, they're making all these plans, but they got to win this fight next week first.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going, but you're 100% right. Like, they're looking ahead of this because these are the names that
These
people are
Armin,
interested in.
Ilia, Charles sweepstakes, you lose this fight next week, you're out of those for now.
100%. To me, where I thought you were going and what these instantaneously ring to me is there's no heat between Paddy and Justin. There was no reason for this fight to be happening. This fight makes no fucking sense.
It's actually a great point. Like, I didn't even think about that. They really are just like cordial buddies. They're going to go in there, scrap for the interim belt, and that's going to be that.
There's no heat between them. This didn't need to happen this way. Their beefs are each with other people. They want to fight Ilia. They want to fight Armin. Even Dan Hooker getting into it with Paddy Pimblett. Like, there was no reason for this to be Paddy and Justin. I just don't understand it. I've not understood it from the moment it was made. I don't understand the Mickey Mouse title that they've attached to it. It just never made any sense. Every time they're talking in an interview, they're talking about 10 other people other than the guy that's in front of them. It's bizarre to me, but I don't want to harp on it. I'm coming off like a real hater, but it's just baffling. What do you make of Paddy's assessment of Armin's grappling? Are you equally unimpressed with Armin Tsarukyan as a grappler?
No, I'm not. I mean, the dude is literally doing a grappling match every other week. Like, we see him grappling the best of the best. He's doing wrestling. He's doing BJJ against Shara Bullet. No, I don't think.
Tech falling people in wrestling matches?
Yeah, I think he should take Armin Tsarukyan's grappling very seriously. Honestly, if Ilia's not coming back, that's the fight that I want to see at lightweight. Like, there's no doubt about it. Paddy beats Justin. He will only get hotter. He will get that interim belt wrapped around his waist, and then you give it to Armin, as long as we're not seeing Ilia returning.
100%. I think Armin needs to be next no matter what. I think everybody is kind of in agreement about that. And no, I am quite impressed by Armin Tsarukyan's grappling. I think Paddy Pimblett's going to have his hand full. By the way, I think he knows that. I think he's it's bluster, but...
The Justin Gaethje hit list, by the way, was as follows. Once I get the belt back, I'm not stopping, bro. I'm going to beat Paddy.
Yeah.
Done. Don't even have to worry about that. 9 days away, don't even need to worry about that.
Oh, already done.
I'm going to beat Ilia.
Yeah.
So we'll be taking Ilia's ending his, I think, 17, 19, however many, 17-0, whatever it is. Then he's going to get Max back.
Oh, wow. Max, all right.
Yeah, we're going to go into a scrap with Max Holloway. And then he's got to beat Charles.
Damn.
They both beat him, so he's got to get both those back. So 4-0 finish to the career. I guess we'll be undisputed at that point as well.
Amazing.
Nailed it. Paddy Pimblett also talked about Ilia Topuria and the potential of him coming back, whether or not he needs to vacate, strip the title. He said, if he's, referring to Ilia Topuria, not ready by June, July, I think he should vacate or be stripped because he will have been champ for a year and have not defended. I actually agree with Paddy Pimblett here. If we get to June or July and there is no signs of Ilia Topuria returning and we're sitting on this interim belt, I think he should vacate.
Yeah, if there's not even talks, if they don't even have like a sense of when he's going to come back, I guess I'm okay with it. I hate interim titles, but at a certain...
Well, we're getting the interim title whether we like it or not.
Yeah, the interim title is going to be floating around there, so I guess it doesn't, like, at that point, does it even matter? The interim becomes the undisputed and we do whatever. But unlike with Kayla, right? She has an injury. There's going to be a timeline, and we're going to know when she's coming back. It's so clear, right? We don't know what that timeline is just yet. She's going to have to get into that, and we'll see how her body responds to it. But there will be a clear timeline at a certain point. With this Ilia stuff, it's all murky. We don't know what this is. Like, there's going to be legal issues. There's going to be all kinds of things. Does he want to fight while he's dealing with some of these things? This is all just like unknown territory, and he hasn't really like gone into what the real timeline is. I did see a clip right before we went on air, so we don't have it, but I did see Marab talking about it and saying he thinks we're going to see Ilia sooner than later.
I saw this. I saw this clip as well. He says, I know some details from Ilia. It might happen sooner than we imagine, in reference to Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev.
Oh, all right. Ilia versus Islam. That's not the direction I was going, but all right. Yeah. I hope that's not what we see first, but if it is, it is what it is.
And Islam was also quoted saying, I'm not going back down to 155 if Ilia Topuria wants to come up to 155 or 170. He can feel free to do so. So maybe that's the plan. I don't know.
Seems like Paddy and Justin not on a lot of people's mouths, huh? It's a lot of other people.
Have they even talked any sort of shit to each other?
I don't know, man.
I feel like the only time they talk about each other is when they're just checking the box of like, gonna beat Justin,
gonna beat him,
at
and then
324, gonna beat Paddy at 324, and then they move on.
Yeah, we need Ilia back desperately. To kind of
some clarity at 155.
We just need to know what the fuck's happening.
Looking foggy. We'll see though, and it starts with the interim title next week at UFC 324, just 9 days away from that one.
I mentioned Dan Hooker. Paddy also kind of responded to the back and forth that he had with Dan Hooker, and also the fan response to what he had to say.
I never said nothing bad about his mum. Mrs. Hooker's probably a lovely woman, and I never said a bad word about his mum. But then he goes on and says something about my dead mate, who can't defend himself. It was a bit weird. I had my friend's family messaging me saying what's going on here and all that. So, like the way people have went on about what I said, but no one condoned what he said and said, "What are you doing?" mentioning someone who's dead is very, very strange. But you know, that's the MMA world for you. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, people will make me look like the worst man alive when I just used an analogy for how bad Dan Hooker's grappling is.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a widely used analogy. The one that he used, and what Dan Hooker said is horrible as well. Like him trying to be like, I'm in the right here, or Dan trying to be like, I'm in the right here. You said it earlier, there's no heroes in this situation. Like no one's in the right in this one. Both of the things that they said were abhorrent and like crossing the line when it comes to shit talking. And yeah, it's just no winners there.
Yeah, totally. With like Paddy justifying it with like, no, this is an expression. Like everybody knows this.
I used an analogy. I didn't say anything about his mom. It's just like, dude.
No, you conjured images of assault on his mom.
It was weird.
There's no heroes here, but I will say, I'll tell you what, if Paddy Pimblett is unsuccessful in his quest against Justin Gaethje, I am mad at Dan Hooker versus Paddy Pimblett. If Dan Hooker took that as an opportunity, that he saw a little sliver of opportunity to insert his name into that conversation, I am mad if we get a Dan Hooker and Paddy Pimblett fight on the back end of this. Like,
Dan Hooker's got bigger issues the very following week against Benoit Saint Denis.
You have to get past that. But I'm saying if Paddy wins, then obviously not, right? Like, I don't think Dan Hooker is like going to enter that conversation. Although a win over BSD is going to be big if he can get that done. But if Paddy loses, man, the stars might align for them to kind of settle this, and there's some real heat. And Hooker's been great at building it up lately. He did that great build with Arman Sarukian. I thought both of those guys like brought it when like one of the bright spots of two guys promoting last year rather. So worse things than lobbing something out there to kind of put your name on the radar of Paddy Pimblett and get in there. But yeah, like both of them didn't need to say either of those things.
Yeah,
but it made me more interested.
100% agree. Is that the next rivalry?
Why not? Fuck it. Paddy's got everybody else on his list, and Justin too.
We mentioned Islam Makhachev. He was getting interviewed, and he talked about the wrestling of one Jack Della Maddalena. Here's what he had to say in regards to it. Bilal was taking him down, and Maddalena was good at getting back up after takedowns, but he'd always get up using the same move, the same reversal. When I took him down, I saw him try that same reversal on me. I was already prepared for it, and I defended it. That's when I realized he had nothing else besides that move. I said to myself, that's it? You haven't learned anything else? You don't have any other skills to get back to your feet? That's when I understood he was going to be there for a long time. So yeah, Islam just kind of dismantling. We saw it happen in the octagon, but then sort of just dismantling verbally as well the grappling of one Jack Della Maddalena.
There's no doubt Jack Della Maddalena has to work on his grappling, right? We're not idiots, like, and neither is Jack.
We said that before the Bilal match as well.
He knows he needs to do that. There is an element to me of this one that's a little bit like Michael Jordan being like, man, I was just crossing over this fool, and then I hit the jumper in his face, and it's like, why couldn't you stop me? Like, you're Islam Makhachev. Like, it's not like you're just some schmuck. Like, the idea of like, I was able to take him down and hold him there. It's like, yes, because you're the best in the world at that. Like, I think Jack's fine. I think Jack's ultimately going to be still a very successful welterweight, but he has some holes to work on. But it did just, the quote kind of struck me because it was like, Islam's almost like purposefully or not purposefully oblivious to how good he is at the thing that he's describing.
Yeah. 19 minutes and 10 seconds of control time over JDM in that win. Yuri Prochazka had some words to say about Khalil Roundtree. A lot of award shows and everything coming out. Many people are considering him for comeback of the year. Yuri took to Twitter to respond, I appreciate it. And one more thing, that was not a comeback. I watched that 2 days back, and here is my result. I controlled my opponent the entire fight. Even if he was many times successful with his techniques, I controlled distance, rhythm, and precision of hits. Now is time to make a step up and show it. Let's go for that.
I'm coming!
That was in response to UFC gave him a comeback award.
Yep.
Like it was on Twitter. They did this whole thing, and then he's like, "Well, actually,
It wasn't a
it wasn't
comeback.
a comeback.
I was down 20-18 on every judge's scorecards,
Yeah.
and I had him exactly where I wanted it. Is that maybe why he no-sold me so hard? Is because he was just like, why the fuck was this guy so excited? I was dominating the whole fight, and then I finished him.
Yes,
It has that why he no-sold me?
It has the same energy of like, oh, look at these people thinking that I was in danger, but I was
This
not in
idiot.
danger. Why are you so excited?
I was controlling him the entire fight. Precision, technique.
Okay. He's right and he's wrong. He's wrong in that, like, no, he was not controlling the fight at all. Halil was, like, really doing bad damage to him and then faded in the third round. But he's right in the sense that, like, he can still win those fights, right?
Of course.
But it's obviously
He
a
was
comeback.
still in the fight, but, like, dude, if it goes to the judges' scorecards,
he loses.
Literally, it doesn't matter how bad you win that last round. The best you can do is a draw at that
10-8
point.
and you get a draw.
Khalil saw that, though.
Yeah. What did he have to say?
Let's go for that, bro. Let's do a rematch. How about that?
I love that. I love him using the Yuri parlance. Let's go for that.
That's nice.
I'm down. Honestly, like, I think Yuri has very firmly planted his feet on I want a title shot. And if Alex Pereira moves out of the division, it's the most obvious title shot of all time.
Yeah.
If Alex Pereira stays in the division, man, that's a tough sell for me. I gotta be completely honest. Like, I'd watch it because Yuri is watchable no matter what. Like, there's no scenario where he's not a watchable fighter, but I don't want to see him lose to Alex again. I don't expect that he would have success. I expect Alex to win the third fight. But if Alex leaves, fuck, every part of me
Yuri
wants to
versus
see
Olberg.
Yuri
Book it.
versus
Book it.
Olberg as a
No
title
brainer.
fight. Short of that, let's say Alex does stay or whatever, however else this shakes out, man, I'd love to see them run that back. 5 rounds instead. Let's kind of see what happens. And, I'm down. I think they can both improve on the performance.
5-round, maybe co-main event.
Yeah, somewhere.
Speaking of co-main events, Sean O'Malley has been upgraded because of the loss of the Amanda Nunes Kayla Harrison fight to the co-main event. He had previously been like, oh man, I'm falling off. I think he literally said, I was on a rocket ship when I was beating Aljo, and now I'm just, he was like, prelims are going to be next. I've fallen off. That's not the case. He is now the co-main event. Here is the live reaction from Sean O'Malley when he found out.
You see the news? Kayla Harrison's out. No. Co-main.
Me?
You.
Seriously? I'm the co-main. UFC 324! I'm the co-main! So sick, dude! So sick!
Yeah, Sean just goofing up. This is a guy who I believe has headlined 4 pay-per-views, including the Sphere show as well.
He is funny. Whenever he does the, like, limp body, like,
screaming
weirdo strikes, I love it. So, like, when he's making fun
I
of
have to
Tony
say-
or hitting the little doll thing.
Yeah. Like, he's obviously a nasty striker. Shit still looks pretty smooth even when he's doing it limp. I'm like, damn, I wish I could look that cool throwing bullshit out there.
Shout out to Sean O'Malley. Honestly, though, nice little fight to slide right into that slot. Like, that's a good one to have as the one below the co-main, that if it falls off, now you've got a great fight still in the co-main event.
Yeah, so right now we're looking at main event obviously holds as Gaethje Pimblett, and then you got Sean O'Malley, Song Yadong in the co-main, Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis,
Great
feature
fight.
bout Arnold Allen, John Silva, great fight.
Fantastic.
And then Natalia Silva, Rose Namajunas is the one that gets the upgrade to the main card. Below that, Nikita Krylov versus Modestas Bukauskas, and then Umar Nurmagomedov, Davison Figueiredo. I honestly thought that was going to get the bump, but Rose, former champ, Natalia Silva, up and coming, number 2 contender right now. Atiba Gauthier, Andre Puliev, Alex Perez, Charles Johnson, Denzel Freeman versus Josh Hokett. I mean, dude, it's still a great card. I'm bummed we lost that co-main, but yeah, Michael Johnson versus Alexander Hernandez. That is like a guaranteed scrap
for sure.
Michael Johnson will be winning that one till he isn't. But that is
Alexander Hernandez is going to be winning that one till he isn't.
That is a battle of guys who are going to be winning it until they're not.
It's a great card. It has. To me, it lost the most significant fight. To me, Kayla and Amanda was like by far the one I was looking forward to the most. By far the one with the most stakes. By far the one that I was most excited for. it's still a great card that just has a different meaning for me now. Now I can kind of like, that was going to be the focus of my attention. Now I'm watching this card and just being like, damn, top to bottom, this is some of the best the UFC's done in quite a while. Like, I'm really excited about each of these fights. They have some intriguing elements all across the board. And so it should be an enjoyable card. And I'm perfectly happy with it.
No undisputed title fights on it, just the one on UFC 325. And just the BMF belt on 326, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
It's just Charles versus Max. So in the first, because we obviously don't know the main event for Miami, April yet, in the first, essentially the first 3 months of the Paramount deal, we're getting one undisputed title fight.
That's because they're going to put 6 on the White House card, as I've been
honestly,
told.
maybe. It might be. One undisputed title fight. We're getting an interim and a BMF. I feel like I'm just doing the math on that. Fucking hell. I mean, that's tough. But going off of that, every year, you know, at the beginning of the year, you get the odds for who will hold the belt at the end of 2026. You get them on all your sports books. Tough bets to win sometimes just because you have no idea how things are going to play out. Like
the sport is so crazy.
It's so crazy. Every year I always say it, and then I feel like when I say it, people are like, you said the exact same thing last year, but it's just like these look back shows we do, the award shows, it's just like, or like the predictions that we made going into 2025. It's just this reminder that like shit is gonna get crazy in 2026. Like you just have no idea how things are gonna play out. Like Josh Van becoming champion by the end of the year, Mackenzie Dern becoming champion by the end of the year. Like you just have no idea how things are gonna play out, and that's what makes it so beautiful. But that's what makes these bets so difficult. So what I wanted to do, before things get cranked up, because once it hits next week, the train don't stop. We go 324, 325, Apex card, Houston, 326, Seattle, London. The train doesn't stop going. So I wanted to look at these odds here, and I wanted to make a prediction. We each got to take who you would bet. If you were going to place a wager, who you would bet on for each division.
We'll do that, and then we'll agree on some and actually take the wagers. You have some already. I'll tail those, and then we'll make new ones if we collectively decide.
Okay.
Before we go through this, I want to ask you a meta question, like a philosophical question.
Meta Apex question?
Metapex.
It's a great point.
Previously, there was an era where you threw more darts.
Way more.
Now, the last iteration, you were more honed in on one. Did you find success there, or did you feel like what's the right balance? Is it
far, far, far more enjoy honing in on 1 to 3? Because like you start realizing you're just like, oh yeah, I had that one like plus 1,000, and like it came kind of close, but like it was never actually gonna hit. And then you just kind of be like, nope, that didn't. Nope, that didn't. Nope. So like you're just trying to hone in on a couple that you think are very realistic to happen that have decent odds.
So even though you're giving yourself more chances by throwing those darts, they're just air balls. They're just like, fuck,
so many
I might as well not.
There's so many air balls.
Okay, fair enough.
In these championship predictions, man, because A, there can only be one, and B, like you just don't know what's gonna happen.
What I think that's true, just anecdotally, and the reason I think that's true is because when you're throwing those extra darts, you're still using your brain.
Yeah.
You're not going, let me pick some dumb shit, and then the dumb shit is actually the one that inevitably wins, right?
I'm pretty sure Mackenzie Dern going into last year was like plus 15,000.
Nobody in their right mind takes that bet. You take 3 other ones, and then that's the one that hits. So that's why I think maybe like getting those more darts isn't that useful, because you're still logicking them all out. You know, you're like, I have to pick winners, and then they don't win.
The key is like, you want someone with decent odds. You want someone that you're almost certain is going to get a chance at fighting for the belt.
Right.
Those are like the 2 keys that
Or you might as well just close your eyes and pick somebody like Mackenzie Dern or Josh Van that's like, oh, fuck, I didn't see that coming, and they just random hit.
All right. Let's just go bottom to top. Let's start with women's strawweight. The favorite right now, this is on DraftKings, Mackenzie Dern, plus 125 to be your champion at the end of the year. I do not like that at all. I do not like that at all. What I do like is the second favorite, Zhang Wei Li at plus 150. I think she is very likely to get a shot at getting her belt back that she vacated last year, and I still think she's the best 115er in the entire world.
I just don't even see how.
Some other ones for people listening: Tatiana Suarez plus 500, Yan Xiaonan plus 700, Lemos plus 1500, Fatima Klein plus 1600. I know Frankie likes that one.
I am with you that Zhang Wei Li is the bet here for sure. But the way that this is going to play out is going to be Mackenzie Dern beats Zhang Wei Li and then loses to one of these other people is exactly what's going to happen.
If Mackenzie Dern beats Zhang Wei Li
and then loses to Yan Xiaonan,
she's already lost to Yan Xiaonan
again.
Nah, that's not what's going to happen. Zhang Wei Li is my bet plus 150.
I'm also on Zhang Wei Li. Is that one you took already in real life?
That is one that I already took.
All right, I'll tell you on that.
That is one that I already took. All right, let's go to women's flyweight. Your favorite, Valentina Shevchenko sitting at minus 150. Natalia Silva second at plus 230. Blanchfield plus 320. Fierro plus 450. Barber 900. Zhang Wei Li plus 1,000. That's where you start getting in that range of like, what? Like, why would I bet that? That's the one that'll hit, but it's like, why would I bet that? We just saw her go up to 125. She came up significantly short on being able to even contend to take that belt. It's just out of the question. The one that I like here, honestly, is Natalia Silva. She's fighting early on in the year. I think if she beats Rose Namajunas,
she'll get a title shot.
She'll get a title shot off that. Who else is Valentina going to fight at 125? She's incredibly talented. She's on a nice win streak. I just don't love laying a minus. I know I just said plus 150 on Zhang. Don't love laying a minus 150 on Valentina for a year-long bet.
Totally with you. Let me see that one more time.
What are you feeling? You feeling a little frisky on a plus 5,000 Kong Wang? Carly's your
win over her. Yo,
Carly's your D's plus 10K.
Okay, the one I actually like this. If I was doing this, I don't think I'm going to take any in this division. But if I was doing it, I might throw a dart on Silva, Blanchfield, Manon, and Macy Barber.
Wow.
I feel like those are all live, honestly.
So you're honestly taking like a Valentina.
Not Valentina.
Field. Yeah.
Because I think like Manon showed she can be competitive with Valentina like in that last fight.
The retrospect of that fight is like, Valentina dominated.
No, man.
Very close, 48-47.
No, like, yeah, it's been this like she beat her up. And I'm like, no, like Valentina Shevchenko is an amazing fighter. She's been in some very close fights with some competitors that like now in hindsight, everybody's like, she would have smoked them. And the fights did not play out that way.
I think the real path for Manon would be Natty Ice fights early this year, wins, gets a title shot,
beat Natty,
fights Valentina, wins against
Manon fights Valentina rematch.
No. Natalia Silva fights Valentina, wins that, and then Q4 Manon versus Natalia Silva.
Yeah, I like all of them. Manon is the one I like the best because I think she's probably the second best in the division behind Valentina. And I think you're getting her at good odds there. Natalia Silva, I think, is very good. And I've long been on the Natty Ice train, and I think she's going to I think she will beat Rose Namajunas, and I think she will get the title shot. Her skills are very much the skills that Valentina Shevchenko has. And I think Manon is going to pose a different problem for Valentina or potentially Natalia if she's able to get past Valentina, than Natalia poses for Valentina. Like I think she's too much of the same of what Valentina does, and Valentina might be able to just do it a little bit better. And then if she mixes in her own grappling, I think that's where she might shine. So I actually like Manon in that one. As if I have to pick one, that's where I would go.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to bet on that.
But I don't think I'm going to go in that division.
Let's go to UFC women's bantamweight. Kayla Harrison, your favorite, at minus 120. Amanda Nunes plus 100. Shevchenko plus 200. Pennington plus 600.
Fuck,
Dumont
this one's
plus
hard,
650. It's tough, but like I just wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I have no idea what's going to happen in this division.
If you bet on Kayla and she doesn't fight, you just flushed your money down the toilet. Like that's a loser.
Yeah.
Or
I guess if she still has the belt.
Yeah, I guess if she still, but would they?
Yeah, they may just void that bet because she didn't fight at all.
That's a weird one. If I have to pick, I'm picking Kayla Harrison because I think when she returns, she will fight Amanda Nunes. And I think she will beat Amanda Nunes, but I'm not confident enough in it to wager on that. Plus, those odds, they're close enough to the odds of the fight. I'll just wait till.
I was gonna say, and you're sitting on it for a year. Like, yeah, that's another thing you have to remember with these. Like, if it's like a plus 150 or plus 200, like I'm gonna dump a decent amount of money in it. So like I'm getting a nice return when I get it back. But like I'm not throwing like $100 on a minus 120 to sit on it for a year.
I'll just wait till Kayla does come back, and then I will bet on Kayla in the fight against Amanda, and I'll make nearly the same. What was she, like 2-1 almost?
Who?
Kayla.
Oh, in the fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like a minus 220 or something.
Okay, so you're paying a little bit of a premium, but you don't have to have your money locked up and sit on that. So I wouldn't do that either.
Okay, men's flyweight. Alexandre Pantoja, the man who lost his belt in December, is a minus 120. Josh Van plus 300. Manel Kape plus 5. Tatsuro Taira plus 7. Kyoji Horiguchi plus 8. Amir Albazi plus 1,200. Kai Kara France plus 1,500.
I would be on... I
don't mind either of the Japanese.
I don't think that there's value on Pantoja, even though I think he will be champion by the end of the year. Again, the same reason. Why are you sitting on minus 120 for the year?
Tatsuro Taira plus 700 or Kyoji Horiguchi plus 800 is tempting to me.
Of this list, I think Manel Kape is my most attractive option.
Feels like a guy that will likely get a shot, could retain that belt.
The power is just...
You don't know how many times that belt's going to be on the move this year. Are they going to get 2 fights in, 3 fights in? You just don't know. Ultimately, I don't think I'm going to have any bets, but
no.
The Taira and Horiguchi kind of tempt me a little bit.
I like it.
Another interesting one, men's bantamweight. Petr Yan plus 100, Merab plus 150, Umar plus 250, Sean O'Malley plus 800.
Okay, I'm going to throw you a curveball here.
Kyler Phillips plus 10K?
Because I think Merab will probably be the champ of this division by the end. That's what I put in my predictions at the start of the year. But that plus 250 Umar is looking pretty tasty right now.
Plus 250 Umar is not bad, but what if I threw this out to you? A little belt back parlay, Merab, Zhang.
Both.
Plus 525.
No, because I don't love the Zhang one.
I know. You're Mackenzie Dern Stan.
Ah, man.
The extra security provided by the UFC.
I'll be honest. I like Merab, but do we have current odds on a trilogy fight? I think you looked it up and you said they weren't out yet, right?
No, I haven't seen it.
So when he comes back and if he fights Yan, I think you can probably get him at near even odds for that fight. I don't think he'll be like a huge dog or a huge favorite. So I'd imagine that you could just bet on Merab. I'd look a little longer odds, and I don't mind that Umar one.
Yeah, plus 250 on Umar Nurmagomedov is not bad.
Come on, can I convince you to take an Umar with me?
Similar to the Manon Fiorot, a very competitive fight with Merab Dvalishvili. He's obviously got the skill.
You have to imagine he'd match up pretty well with Petr Yan too.
Also, it doesn't hurt when these guys are fighting right off rip. He's fighting Figgy next week.
What do you think? Can I get you in on that one?
Yeah,
that's the one I want so far. I think
you can talk me into the Umar plus 250.
All right.
All right. Let's go to featherweight. This one's the trickiest. No chance I'm betting on it. This one I have no idea where to go. Volk, your favorite at plus 170. Diego Lopez plus 200. Lerone Murphy plus 300. Movsar 350. Jean Silva 500. Yair 8. Stevie G plus 1,000. Yusuf Zalal down there plus 4,000. A little Patricio Pitbull plus 15K.
All right, I've got great news for you.
Okay.
I think Movsar Evloev might be the best featherweight in the world, and he's at plus 350. I got bad news for you, too.
We have to bet on Movsar Evloev.
No, I got 2 pieces of bad news. 1, we have to bet on Movsar Evloev. 2, I'm not convinced he even gets a title shot this year.
Dude. What do we think the chances are that he fights Lerone Murphy in London?
Very high. Very high that I think he'll fight him in London.
If he fights him in London, dude, that is like, you have to give him gun to the head. You have to give him a title shot. That's 10 straight wins, and he will have won the number 1 versus number 2 contender type deal. Like, you have to give him one.
How many times have we said this?
You have a huge runway to get there.
How many times have we said this?
Are we going to take Movsar plus 350 and then just watch him fight once this year to a boring decision?
That's exactly what will happen.
I'm down.
I predicted Movsar to be champ in another one of the predictions that I made for the site.
Sorry.
If he beats Lerone Murphy, the odds are that he gets a title shot, right? I think he can beat nearly everybody at featherweight.
Take down. There you go. Nice.
By the way.
Nice. Sick. Let's go.
By the way, especially if it's 5 rounds, right? 3 rounds is tougher because, like we saw with the Aljo fight, right? You might give one away. Now you're in a do or die situation. Over 5 rounds, he's very tough to deal with.
And he's an incredible fighter.
He's a fantastic fighter. But I can picture it already that he wins against Lerone. Everybody's like, it has to be him. Flash cut. injured, not returning till Q1 of 2027. Aljamain Sterling versus Diego Lopez. Like it's like I can see it.
Yep, I can see it as well. I'll probably pass on that one. Right now we got Umar and
We'll
Zhang.
take Umar. We'll take Umar, and I'll hop on the Zhang with you. I might sprinkle on Mavzar.
Ay, Jesus Christ. All right, let's go to lightweight. Ilia Topuria minus 200. With everything up in the air, that is dicey. Armin Sarukian plus 200. Pimblett 300. Gaethje 5. Max Holloway plus 700. Charles Oliveira plus 800. And then you're getting into like BSDs plus 2K. Volk plus 35.
No.
Mick the Beck oral buy plus 10,000. Maybe a little Arnold Allen plus 15K jumps up to 155.
Is oral by the Mackenzie Dern this year? Is this
I'm thinking Arnold Allen at lightweight is the Mackenzie Dern.
I like Armin in this one.
Yeah, I think Armin too. If I was gonna bet it,
but what are you doing with it?
Nothing. I'm
with Ilya's status, it's just too hard.
Yeah, there's just no odds that like really entice me.
Because I mean, who's a favorite in Armin versus Ilia at this point? Probably Ilia,
I think
right?
Ilia would be for sure.
Yeah, you're probably getting Armin at plus 200. You could just wait for the fight.
Let's go to welterweight. Islam Makhachev, your favorite, minus 200. Usman plus 300. Shavkat plus 5. Morales plus 5. Ian plus 5. Praches plus 1,000. Topuria plus 1,200. JDM plus 2K. Imagine if you had a JDM slip last year and you ended up losing it because of Islam. Personally, for me, I like Shavkat Rakhmonov.
I like Shavkat, but I like Islam as much as I like Shavkat. I like both of those decently, so I'm
just taking the risk on him fighting and getting the title shot, but at plus 500, I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, I don't love either of them, but
there was a world, I cashed on Shemaev last year. Oh, great, we cashed on Shemaev, woohoo. I also took him in 2022, 2023, and 2024. Now the tradition is renewed with Shavkat Rakhmonov. I took him last year. I'm probably just going to end up taking him this year. And eventually it'll happen.
Why don't we just start a new tradition with Mavzar Evloev? It's going to take 3 years, but it's going to cash.
On a 17-fight win streak, he set the UFC record without ever getting a title shot. Mavzar Evloev. All right, here we go. Middleweight, Hamzat minus 350, Imavov plus 300, Anthony Hernandez plus 550, DDP plus 16, Strickland plus 25, Kyle Bahalio plus 3K, Joe Pyford plus 8K. Paulo Costa moved up to 205, but you can still get him plus 10,000. Don't sleep. Yeah, I'm not betting this. I think it's going to be Hamzat Chimaev, but I'm not paying minus 350.
Fluffy's a little interesting there.
Plus 550. If I was going to bet anything, it'd be Fluffy.
I think Fluffy's interesting there, but nobody's a bigger Hamzat stan than me. I don't see him losing his belt.
Yeah, plus 550. I don't mind.
Okay, but what about if Hamzat leaves the division? What if he does go fight Alex Pereira? Fluffy, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that plus 550 is you thinking.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Crazier things have happened. It is interesting you say that. Your light heavyweight odds, the favorite, Hamzat Chimaev, minus 140.
All right, that's dumb.
The man has never fought at 205, and he is the favorite to be the champion by the end of the year. Pereira plus 120, Yuri plus 600, Magomed Ankalaev plus 7, Carlos Ulberg plus 8. The professional, the undefeated, Azamat Murzakanov plus 2,500, Jamal Hill plus 5K. Bogdan Guskov, plus 5K as well. Vitor Petrino plus 8, you said?
No.
Plus 8,000, you like?
I assume you're on Yuri.
Yuri and Ankalaev are both interesting here.
I like Ankalaev a lot in this one.
Plus 700?
This might be the one I like the most.
Chimaev minus 140.
No, stupid.
I don't care what you say.
Even if
bet.
that comes true, it's a stupid bet. It's a horrible bet.
Paid minus 140 for it.
No, it's dumb.
I like Yuri and I like Ankalaev. The reason I like Yuri more is that if Alex vacates, then I think he is next to get a shot. I don't know if they're going to give Ankalaev the shot.
No, but once you have them in place, if Alex leaves, it's like Ankalaev's the guy. He's the one left. Can I convince you to sprinkle on Ankalaev? I like Ankalaev quite a bit.
Okay, Ankalaev and Yuri?
I'm down. We do Ankalaev, Yuri.
Okay.
You've got the Zhang, I'll tail.
All right.
And we're adding Umar.
Okay.
I might throw on Mavzar. You do what you need to do.
I think you could maybe talk me into Mavzar.
All right. So
All right,
far,
so
so good.
Yuri and Ankalaev.
Yep.
Let's just write these down here. Yuri and Ankalaev, Umar, Zhang. Movsar.
Yep.
Okay. We'll see.
Let's keep it going.
Last but not least.
Yo, that's crazy, though, that Hamzat is the favorite.
It's ridiculous.
Division
I think
he's
it's
never
actually
fought in.
ridiculous. I think it's actually ridiculous. Heavyweight. Tom Aspinall, your favorite, minus 180. Cyril Gane, +4. John Jones, +5. Volkov, 500. Curtis Blades, 1,000. Alex Pereira, +1,100. Waldo Cortez Acosta, Salsa Boy, +1,500. And your favorite and mine, Walter Walker, +5,000.
Yeah, they don't have my bet. Otherwise, I would have been in.
What is the bet?
Can you cut to my cam in the back there?
Gable Steveson.
Oh, we can't.
They actually do have.
The singlet has fallen.
Holy shit! The singlet has fallen.
No,
wow. Sir. The singlet has fallen.
The second singlet has fallen.
You said that, not me.
All right.
Gable Steveson, you can bet.
Oh, what do we got?
What odds do you want?
Can I see the other ones again so I have like a frame of reference? Okay, so he's higher than +10,000. I will take him at plus.
I will give you a hint. He shares odds with Rafael Tobias and Brando Pericic.
Who the fuck is Brando Pericic?
Brando Pericic.
Who the fuck is Brando Pericic? All right. Plus 50,000.
Plus 25K. Brando Pericic, well-known heavyweight who beat Elisha Ellison on UFC Fight Night Perth back in September.
Oh shit!
You don't remember Pericic Ellison?
I must have forgot that one.
First round knockout, punches from top position.
Oh
Less
shit!
than 2 minutes.
Brando Pericic.
They're giving him the same odds as Gable.
I'm going to take a flyer on the Gable Steveson.
Okay, plus 25,000.
Fuck it.
Plus 25,000. All right.
What do you like?
I honestly thought you were going Buchecha there.
I don't. Oh, let's see what Buchecha's odds are.
Plus 10 million.
What is his real name again?
Marcus Almeida.
Yeah, Marcus Almeida. Let's see. Marcus. Oh, they don't even have him listed?
Yeah, no shit. He fought Kennedy and.
Nah, get the fuck out of here. They have Josh Hokett listed.
Yeah, Josh Hokett is better.
Nah, here he is. Here he is. It's not Marcus Almeida. It's Marcus Buchecha plus 50,000.
Okay, so he had the odds. Yeah. Are you taking that?
Fuck no. Buchecha is dead to me.
Do you like anything on the actual heavyweight list?
No, but I might just for the hell of it, for fun, take a flyer on Gable Steveson with you.
All right, we're locked in.
Yeah, just because.
We did good business here.
I don't think it hits just because the division will move too slow. We don't know what's going on with Tom Aspinall, but yeah, I think it could be fun. So what we came up with was Zhang, Umar, Movsar, Yuri Ankalaev, and Gable.
I love it. Wrestling heavy, baby.
Will any of them hit?
Yes.
We shall see. Blackbird in the chat saying Hokett is free money. I agree.
Shout
I
out.
agree. Plus 25K on Hokett. All right, that takes
What
us.
about Brando Pericic?
Brando Belichick? Brando
Bill Belichick.
I'm not sure, but Navajo Sterling with better odds than one Gable Steveson. Junior Taffa plus 70,000. Austin Lane plus 200,000. Worth a flyer, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Chris Barnett plus 50K.
He's not even in the UFC.
All right, pound for pound rankings. Because of losing the Kayla Harrison Amanda Nunes fight, our pound for pound rankings this week are heartbreaking cancellations. Fights that were booked that ended up not happening on the card that you wanted, and it broke your heart. It just crushed your soul when you heard about it. Frankie, what's the order?
I'm going to do Frank, Conor, Rick.
I'm looking forward to this one, man. You said you loved your list. You said you were high on this one.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, this one was
you said
your idea. I can't wait for it.
You said this is your best one yet.
Let's hear it, brother.
All right, well, starting off with my number 5 is, hold on.
You all right, man?
Damn, the Gable Steveson singlet
It's
falling has
SSC.
shaken
Frank
the
has
control
an
room.
SSC at 5.
SSC.
This stands for Superconducting Super Collider. This was actually a particle accelerator that was being built in East Texas back in the 90s. It was supposed to be the particle accelerator that would find the Higgs boson, But it got canceled because it was going to cost like upwards of $12 billion. Very sad because this was the marking of when basic research and science was starting to take an economical hit by the United States. And as we all know, the LHC was built over in Switzerland, and they found the Higgs boson instead. So America 0, Europe 1.
When you said heartbreaking,
my heart still bleeds for this.
All right, number 4. Come on. Let's keep this.
Number 4, fan favorite here. Josh Whedon's Firefly.
Oh, okay.
Notoriously came out, started to build up a good fan grouping, and then they canceled it, and nobody understood why. I understood why. It's not actually my favorite, but it is a heartbreaking story that Josh Whedon was onto something. This is the guy who actually created Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh.
Was given another go on this show. And he's had much success since then. So hopefully one day we'll see a Firefly reboot, maybe with someone who's a little bit more easier to get along with on set. You know, that might make the difference.
By the way, this is a good one. I'm in. I like Firefly.
Number 3 is My Bloody Valentine's follow-up to their self-titled album in 2013. Kevin Shields, famously from Ireland, had made a couple albums in the 80s that then they disappeared. And when they resurfaced in the mid-2010s, people were excited to see what they would follow up with. They teased that they would do something, and it's never come to fruition. So it's considered canceled and dead, and many of us My Bloody Valentine fans are heartbroken over it.
I do want to push back. I want to make a distinction. Something not coming to fruition is not the same as canceled. Important distinction.
My number 2 is Blizzard Entertainment's StarCraft Ghost. This was a game that was supposed to be a third-person shooter, unlike the real-time strategy games that Blizzard was known for at the time. This is actually before World of Warcraft, so they didn't even have the online appeal at that point. I do want to point out that they had already done like a racing game for the Super Nintendo and another game called Lost Vikings, so they had steered away from RTSs before, but this one was specifically in the StarCraft universe, but you were going to play as one of the ghost character types, and it was really exciting because it's very Metroid adjacent. Went on for years. They were teasing us. They actually switched developers at some point, and then they just pulled the rug on the whole thing. Little breaking news, though.
Yeah.
There's talks that there's a third-person shooter being discussed again by Blizzard Entertainment. But at this point, I'm like, tire me with your stuff. You've done it for 20 years. Like, show me actual footage of the game working, and then I'll get on board.
How about the little GameSpy logo on your screenshot there?
Oh, man.
Shout out to the throwback.
Right. Talk about heartbreak.
That's nice.
And my last one is the Rhyme and Reason tour. This was a tour that's actually very heartbreaking for me because it was Beastie Boys and Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, shit.
On tour, I had tickets to go, and then Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine hurt his leg and had to get Rage Against the Machine out of the tour. It continued going, but like I honestly was such a punk-ass kid, let's be honest, that I didn't want to go. Like I was like, this is not what I signed up for, blah, blah, blah. Like, wasted the money, essentially. But what was even worse is that just a few minutes later, Rage Against the Machine pulled the plug on their entire thing. Like, they have since resurfaced, but back in 2000, it was like, what is going on? Did he really hurt his leg? Did they get into a fight? What happened? Because it was only within like 4 months after they bowed out of this tour that the band was no more. So in my mind, Rhyme and Reason was the end of Rage Against the Machine. I never got to see them live. It's been 26 years, and like I've had probably a handful of dreams of actually seeing them live. Woken up from the dreams and I'm like, nope, that never happened. So that's my list.
I like it. Genuine heartbreak there at the end. That is...
You sound heartbroken going through the whole list, too.
Yeah, the SSC, for those of us from Texas, it was...
No doubt.
Wait, why are we on the SSC? That's your 5. I'm talking about the
I'm just saying the whole list, you know, from top to bottom is very heartbreaking. Maybe not Firefly.
All right. You said you hated your list, Frank. How are you feeling about it now?
It's still not my favorite.
Yeah, I concur. But that's all right.
I've loved Connor's demeanor toward this list.
No, he's just, you know.
My favorite part was looking at the cameras and seeing Conor just throwing the ball to himself, not even paying attention to a word Frank was saying.
He's just like, yeah, a little note here. They had already developed a Nintendo racing game.
You could do better than this, Conor. Come on.
Who's next, Frankie?
It's you.
Okay. All right. Pound for pound, heartbreaking cancellations, fights that we lost. Mine is all MMA centric. Some of these fights I wasn't a diehard UFC fan for, but wish I could go back and watch them. And I start with number 5, UFC 230, Cormier versus Lewis. But who else was supposed to be on that card? Dustin Poirier versus Nate Diaz. Fight got canceled. There it is. Madison Square Garden. Never came to fruition. Never got to see them fight. And now they've sort of orbited each other in a will they, won't they, boxing, who knows, tango. I don't think we'll ever see them fight each other. Would have been fantastic. Sad that we missed out on.
They were at the presser. We got the face-off, and it never came out and never came to fruition.
Number 4. This was not booked once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but 5 times, and we never saw it come to light. Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson were booked 5 times between December of 2015 and May of 2020 for UFC 249. We got several posters for their fight. Ultimate Fighter finale, UFC on Fox 19, UFC 209, UFC 223. There's the poster for that one. And UFC 249 never happened. The cable, the whole deal, injuries never came to fruition. What could have been?
Yeah.
Number 3. This is actually a combo event because there was 2 fights that would have taken this event to the next level. We ended up seeing them, but it would have been together. If that had happened, imagine how huge of an event it would have been. And that's UFC 200. Conor Nate 2 was rumored for this. Not rumored. Booked for this. Jones DC 2 was booked for this. You got the posters and everything. It ended up getting headlined by Miesha Tate versus Amanda Nunes. Jones drug test. We end up seeing both these. But to have them on UFC 200 would have been special.
Would have been special.
Number 2. It's actually not an event. It's almost an entire calendar year caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Just canceling all of sports, specifically the UFC. Now, there's a positive light in the UFC is that this created a lot of new fans for the sport because it was the only sport on. But then it created a negative for those UFC fans because this birthed the Apex, the Metapex. The warehouse in the desert was invented because of this. Yes, we were without fights. We were without sports for about 2.5 months.
And my uncle lost his life to COVID. Just saying. Rest in peace, uncle.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure, yeah. Just your uncle and millions of others. We're sort of just, we're talking specifically about the sports here as we go through this one. Rest in peace to your uncle, Frank.
For those who are just listening to the show, when I told Conor that, he just stared at the camera as if he
just felt unnecessary, man. It just felt unnecessary. Wasn't your thing with social cliches back in the day not bringing up people that had passed away?
I miss you, Tio.
Did you call him Tio?
Tio Jimmy. Pour one out for him tonight.
Now you're making a mockery.
Big UFC fan.
Now you're making a mockery of this. Which leads me to my number 1. What could have been the number 1 true contender for the UFC that never came to fruition. The freight train that never left the station. The rocket ship that never got to see a launch.
What is this?
Frankie, hit the music for me. GFL! Rest in peace!
Well done.
Yeah!
Well done.
Oh, man. Look at Holly. AI Holly. Is that AI Gustafson?
And Shogun.
Whoa. Get you next. Yeah. Woo!
God.
Fire.
Pound for pound
Fire.
is so back. We're so fucking back.
So back.
We're so fucking
rest
back.
in peace to GFL.
And to Frank's uncle.
And rest in peace to GFL. Rest in peace to T.O. Jim. We will forge on.
Wow. Pound Pound is so fucking back. GC no selling Frank, then to end with a joke is fucking. Oh, we're so fucking back. All right, my list is admittedly a little closer to Frank's because these were ones that meant something to me. Number 5. Superman Lives. Do you know about Superman Lives?
Oh, yes.
No, I don't know anything.
Superman Lives was a script written by Kevin Smith, pitched in 1996, loosely based on the comic book run The Death of Superman, directed by or tied to Tim Burton, costume fittings, getting ready for production, canceled right before it was set to start filming in 1998. There was a world where Nicolas Cage was going to be Superman. This scene was from, this still is from that Flash movie that came out last year or 2 years ago.
With Ezra Miller?
With Ezra Miller, in which they go to like a different dimension, and there's
Nick
all
Cage
the Supermen
did it.
are in it. No, this is
Oh.
it's AI. He said in an interview with like a press outlet, he was like, "Yeah, I didn't do that shit."
Oh, that would have been so good. No one saw that movie, so we wouldn't know.
I saw it and it wasn't great, but shout out to Superman Lives, one of the like iconic canceled projects from the film world. I wanted to have Nicolas Cage as Superman just because of how batshit crazy that would have been. Plus, directed by Tim Burton, like it's just
That's
fucking
all
crazy.
the making.
Have you
A
watched the
horrible
thing where
movie.
Kevin Smith explains?
I have.
what the producer-
It's fantastic, and obviously Kevin Smith being involved adds to it because, as Frank's alluded to, like he's spoken about this and talked about like all the things with it. In fact, somebody made a documentary. Was Kevin involved in that or no?
I didn't see the documentary.
There's a documentary about this entire thing. It's incredible.
My favorite part, sorry to interrupt.
No,
is
tell me more.
The producer was like, it needs to have a mechanized giant
Yes.
spider in it. And Kevin Smith is like, what? Like, no. And then years go by and he's watching Wild Wild West that has a mechanized giant spider in it. And then he looks it up. It's the same fucking producer. He's like, so he
Producer's
got
like,
what he wanted after all.
Got to get that spider.
If
in
it
there,
could be
man.
in a fucking Superman movie, it's gonna
I
be
thought the mechanical spider in Wild Wild West was the coolest fucking thing I've ever saw. And now
so that
I
was the one idea he had.
Wild
that-
Wild West, Will Smith.
Yeah, and
shout out.
What year was Wild Wild West?
I want to say
99?
99.
Yeah, so I was 12 years old, so that would track with why I thought like it was the coolest fucking thing ever. Number 4, I also went to the video game realm, Frank. This one for me is Knights of the Old Republic 3.
Damn.
If you know about Knights of the Old Republic, it's a series of Star Wars games. There were only 2 made. The third was in production and then canceled. What was special about this series was you got to be either like a Sith or a Jedi. Like you are a character and your actions determine which way you go. If you do good deeds, like it's like an open world. If you do good deeds, you become a Jedi and your like force becomes stronger. If you do bad deeds, like you kill too many people or you don't give somebody a chance or whatever, you make all the wrong kind of like decision tree decisions, you end up being a Sith Lord. And so my friends and I played this a lot. It spawned a lot of friendships for us because we would sit around, somebody would play and we'd be like, no, kill him or whatever. And Knights of the Old Republic meant a lot to me. And so the third one getting canceled hit me in the heart, but shout out to KOTOR.
I didn't know you fucked with KOTOR. man.
It's lore for me. Number 3, also a very personal relationship with this one. Really enjoyed consuming this. Arrested Development.
Oh.
Arrested Development, the initial run on Fox, one of the most incredible pieces of television ever made, one of the funniest shows ever made. Cast absolutely incredible. Joe Bluth, maybe my favorite character. Michael, also quite good. The third season was shortened by Fox, which kind of spelled the end at the time. The ratings were in the dumpster, and this was my feeling when it ultimately got canceled after that third season. Netflix did revive it at some point. Then they tried to do another season after that. It went into the toilet, and the appetite just wasn't there. The unfortunate part of this one was this ends in like 2005, 2006. It's just in that point before like full seasons of DVDs of TV shows are really taking off, or like VOD or anything like that. This would have been a hit at that time, and it probably would have stayed on the air. But unfortunately, it was just mismatched in the era. But it is obviously a cult classic. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. Number 2 for me. You actually had this one on your list, and it's Habib and Tony. All 5 times that it was canceled.
5.
You went through the dates, but I want to go through the dates and say why they were canceled. Tough Finale, the first one, that was supposed to happen on December 11th, 2015. Habib withdrew on October 29th due to a rib injury in training. The next time it was booked, UFC on Fox 19, April 16, 2016. Tony withdrew on April 5th, so 11 days out, due to an injury in training. He had fluid in his lungs from an injury. Excuse me. Next time, UFC 209, March 4th, 2017. Khabib withdrew on March 3rd, the day before the fight, due to weight cutting complications. This is where Tony calling him tiramisu and all these things comes from. UFC 223, April 7th, 2018. Ferguson withdraws on April 1st. This is now 6 days before the fight due to a knee injury because of what?
The cable.
He's tripped over a cable at the Fox studio. You can't make this shit up. UFC 249, April 18th, 2020. Khabib flew during the pandemic. Khabib flew to Abu Dhabi, got turned away, went home to Dagestan, could not leave Dagestan, could not return for the fight. That UFC 249 card ends up getting moved to May, but obviously Tony Ferguson fights Justin Gaethje instead of Khabib Nurmagomedov, and that was the final nail in the coffin of Tony versus Khabib.
And you just talk about a fight that just wasn't meant to be.
It was not meant to be. It's the one that I look at truly and I'm like, we needed it and did not get it. These other ones have all been like, okay, I really want. This is the one that we actually needed. There were many people, shout out to Shaheen Al-Shadi, the editor-in-chief of Uncrowned.com, who swore up and down that Tony Ferguson was the one to beat Khabib. He was going to be the man to take his take his undefeated record, and he is not alone in that sentiment. There were many out there, and we just never got the opportunity to see it. By the time it even would have made sense, or they could have rebooked it, I do think Tony would have been on the back nine, and it would have been a little bit harder for him anyway. But in his prime, if we had done it in 2017, 2016, it would have been a freaking fantastic fight, and I would have loved to see it.
We got odds on the 2017 one. He was a plus 150.
Yeah.
Wasn't that big of an underdog.
No.
Could you imagine what that would have done to his legacy?
It would have been, I mean, it would have completely shifted the MMA landscape. So
crazy.
Truly a crazy one. All right. My number one, back to the world of television. This is outside of the challenge. I am stating for the record that this is my favorite television show.
Okay.
It had a very good run. It ended up getting canceled. It is a program called Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn. And the conceit of this show... shout out. The conceit of this show is Colin Quinn would assemble a bevy of the world's best comedians. Like the regulars included some names like Patrice O'Neal, Greg Giraldo, Keith Robinson, Rich Voss, Nick DiPaolo, Jim Norton, Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was like a regular on this TV show. And
way back in the day,
when Kevin Hart was on this show, he was the person being picked on. Like Patrice O'Neal would be shitting on him for the entire show. This was like pipsqueak Kevin Hart being the butt of everybody's joke to then flash cut to him being a mega multimillionaire. Dave Chappelle was on this show several times. Sarah Silverman, George Carlin, Louis C.K., Carlos Mencia, Artie Lang, Wanda Sykes, Dave Attell, David Cross, Mark Maron, Dane Cook, Mark Maron pre-podcast era life. Andrew Dice Clay was on it. Dennis Leary was on it. It led to some of the most incredible moments in comedy history. They just sat around, and the format of the show was almost like PTI-esque. Colin would be the host, though. They'd talk about news items. So he'd be like, oh, how about this, war in Afghanistan? And then they'd start making jokes and riffing with each other and also like being serious at the same time. It was absolutely incredible. So many of the episodes are available on YouTube. It is absolutely one of the best shows that's ever been created. The concept was flawless. I'm glad it lasted as long as it did, but when it got canceled, it broke my heart. One of my favorite episodes is the aforementioned Dennis Leary and Greg Giraldo, and you can tell that Greg Giraldo doesn't really like respect Dennis Leary too much, and Dennis Leary is a much richer and more famous man, but not as funny a comedian, and he tries to like go at Greg Giraldo and just gets absolutely eviscerated by the better comedian. And it just led for so many of those moments. Patrice O'Neal was a legend in his time and absolutely on fire in that show. And yeah, if you're at all a stand-up comedy fan, if you're at all any kind of like comedy fan, do yourself a favor, go on YouTube and check out a few of the episodes of Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn. Number one, love it.
The fact that Kevin Hart was on it is incredible.
As the bum,
yeah.
Kevin Hart was like the pipsqueak that everybody shit on. And now he's one of the most famous men in the world and in comedy.
I actually saw Dennis Leary on ESPN this week.
Dennis Leary was on ESPN?
Yeah.
No, are you talking about Kevin O'Leary?
No. Wasn't Dennis Leary in the firefighter show?
Yeah, Rescue Me.
Yeah, Rescue Me.
Wow.
Yeah, he was in,
shout out Dennis Leary.
He's got a new show. Something.
Well, I'll tell you what, 15 years ago, he was getting shit on by legendary comic Greg Giraldo.
Going Dutch.
Shout out.
Ooh, 5.6 on IMDb. It's tough.
It's tough. It's tough for Dennis Leary.
All right.
It's tough.
That is the pound for pound rankings for this week. I think it's a clear win for me. Your guys are too personal, too close to home. No one can relate. Mine, fight, winner. Frankie, we got any voicemails?
We do.
Ahoy, hoy.
Yo, boys in the back. It's Jimmer.
Jim.
I was just listening to the Backies, the most prestigious award show in sports.
Thank you.
Man.
And I gotta say, guys, I'm pretty disappointed there wasn't a category for voicemail of the year. So,
Yep.
I would like to present the inaugural Don Davis Voicemail of the Year award.
Ooh, that's nice. That's nice.
And this year's winner of the prestigious Don Davis Voicemail of the Year award is Don Davis. He had some great voicemails this year. He gave us some real, insider information, and we really appreciated it, Don. We'll be sending you that backy in the mail. So yeah, thank you, man. Anyways, deuces, boys. Sorry I had to do your work for you guys, clean your work up, but yeah, love you guys. Deuces.
It's an email, Jimmer. We'll be sending them the NFT to their Coinbase wallet, and they'll get an email notification.
But thank you, Jimmer, for the thought. It's the right thought. We should have had that.
Voicemail of the year. We're thinking of changing the name to the Boys' Choice Awards. What else? The Not for Nothing Award.
Not for nothing.
There were a couple other good suggestions as well.
Boys' Choices. Let us know what you think about Boys' Choice.
Yeah, Boys' Choice Awards. And maybe they're like, we'll do blimps as the.
Wait a minute. Nickelodeon used to do that.
I'm not familiar.
What was the name of that one?
The Kids' Choice Awards.
Oh, Kids' Choice.
Yeah, Kids' Choice Awards, and it was the blimp, and people would get slimed, and all sorts of shit would happen. There was one other one that I saw that I actually really liked. We'll think of it.
Hey, boys in the back. This is Michael from Kentucky. Just want to say thank you for all you do.
Appreciate you, brother.
Much love and respect.
Shout out, Michael.
That's it? Let's go. Thank you for the call, Michael. Thank you. Nice to get some Southern hospitality in here, baby. Sounds like a Paul Feinbaum show.
What up, boys? Brett from Nebraska.
What's up, Brett?
Shout out to Jordan Burroughs. And just want to let you guys know, just finished up my first week coaching girls wrestling, and I am doing my part to fix women's MMA. I've got
I don't know about
these young women. We're developing character, learning lifelong lessons, and got some tough little girls in there. I'm telling you, we got some dogs to look out for. I obviously can't give you names because that would be illegal. Yeah. But just know that there is a girl that I am coaching who you need to go put plus 20 million thousand on the odds on FanDuel to be women's bantamweight champion in 2040. All right, peace.
All right.
Shout out, Brett.
We have the inside scoop from nameless, faceless high school girl who will be women's bantamweight champion in 2040.
To be fair, we did get Gable Stevenson's MMA debut on this show, so maybe we just got the call that is going to inevitably be women's bantamweight.
Actually, the beauty of this is no matter what, the women's bantamweight champion in 2040,
We'll
Brett
just be
can
like,
call in and be like, it was her.
It was her.
It was her the whole time.
I coached her. Wait, but it says here she's from Dagestan. Nope, you know what?
Nah, man.
She was here with me.
Nah, man.
What's up, boys? I'm loving trucks listening to the show. Listen, that Who's to Check award, it should be like whoever tried to bullshit and kind of got caught. Like, for example, Dana White saying the power slap numbers, or whatever the followers beat the fucking NBA, and that's the third. I don't know, something like that. If somebody fucking talking shit that doesn't think anyone will look into it, but it's clearly bullshit. I don't know, maybe you guys will like that and run with it.
I like that. Maybe we do the Who's to Check award and then the Who's to Check award.
I like it. We double up.
Yeah. CHECK and CZECH.
It's a great suggestion, and the nonchalantness with which he made the call of like taking out his trash or whatever the fuck he was doing, and like also like yeah or something like that, like just not caring was A+. Like nailed that.
Frank, what the fuck? This is the 4th time I've said the same question. I'm going to keep... Frank, what the fuck? This is the 4th time I've said the same question. I'm going to keep saying it every time.
All right.
So you can either play it, or you can keep having to listen to me say the same thing every week until this show ceases to exist, or I fucking die. So I'll ask again. When is Rick going to eat Steak and Shake? This is more important than anything. I listen to the show every week. I'm telling you, not one of those questions, first off, half of them were dumb. The other half, not relevant, and certainly not more important than if Steak and Shake is going to be consumed by Rick. So, play the fucking question and tell him, Frank. Ask him when they're going to eat Steak and Shake. Just do it, and I'll leave you alone. That's it. I won't leave you alone, but I'll stop asking about Steak and Shake. So, that's my question. Fucking happy holidays or whatever. I don't know if I have to circle jerk you guys to get the question on air. Everybody else loves Ariel and talks about, yeah, great, whatever. You're all amazing. Play the fucking question.
I like how he bullied Frank into it.
I do respond well to hostility.
Yeah.
Yeah, a quick front runner for voicemail of the year. That was tremendous. Secondly, what is his obsession with you and Steak and Shake?
I don't know. We had talked about it on the show, and I said I never had it.
Oh, so I was actually talking to someone else who's from up here. Jordan, have you had it?
Ever.
Yeah, I don't
never
think we
had
have
Steak
it.
and Shake. This is fucking
Is there
crazy.
even one near here?
Frankie, have you had one? No, there isn't one.
Absolutely.
Dude, it is incredible. I mean, it's great. I grew up my entire life going to Steak and Shakes.
It's like, that good.
It's like an old school like diner that serves burgers and milkshakes.
How does it compare to Culver's?
No, Culver's stays home.
Yeah, a little bit different than that. Like,
Okay.
it's like,
Go to Culver's for the cheese curds, right?
I had Culver's the first time when I went to the Midwest, and I was like, like I wasn't that impressed.
This is
up from that.
It's a solid ass burger, great fries. It comes with the jalapeno vinegar you put on it. Shakes are tremendous. It's not like fine dining, but it's solid.
Okay, I'm in.
I'm so down.
Where's the closest I can go? How can I ever go?
First of all,
Who's to check?
First of all, kind of crazy. I'm on their website right now. They have this like alternate like gold logo. It says Steak and Shake Bitcoin beef tallow fries. Bitcoin beef tallow fries.
Oh Jesus.
Thank you, RFK.
I will say, I think it's like a bit of I think the restaurant's gone like a bit right wing, but
I think it always was.
Doesn't make me love it any less, baby. If
not more.
Steak and Shake closest location.
Is there like Jersey, or are we talking
No. I think like just like in the South. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's one near the Muckleshoot Casino.
Oh.
Let's see. If there's a Steak and Shake in Seattle, the flight is booked. There are no Steak and Shake locations currently operating in
Be sure to get the sweet tea with extra ice.
There was a downtown Seattle location in 2016 that permanently closed due to poor sales. Wow. They don't like it up in the Pacific Northwest. What did you just say, Frank?
I was just saying I gotta get the sweet tea with extra ice.
Oh, I absolutely love it. Bro, I used to get like cottage cheese from there. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's also open 24/7, so it was a nice late night spot.
Damn. Sounds great. I'd love to go.
Shake, man.
Okay, is it like in Philly? Like PA? Anywhere?
I'm trying to see. Like their map just says 0 locations. Let's just say like Seattle. Let's just go there. Okay, 0 in Washington. Let's go Philadelphia. Philadelphia, there is 0 locations. I think there's
Where are these fucking Steak and Shakes?
There's 1 million in the South. There's one in Washington, D.C.
There's some in Orlando. I used to go also after work when I lived out there.
All right, so I have to go to like South or more West.
Yeah.
You know who was a big fan of Steak and Shakes?
Who's that?
My uncle.
Rest in peace.
No, fuck him.
I love you, Frank.
Oh.
I'm sending kisses and hugs and more kisses to you, Frank.
Tio?
From the grave?
Boys in the back, what is up? It's Curtis calling from Vancouver, Washington, which is about 2 hours south of Seattle, Washington.
So that's the map.
And also,
Muckleshoot.
Muckleshoot.
Resort. All right,
sir.
boys, here's the deal.
Let's hear it.
We got to get you over to Muckleshoot in March. All right?
Okay.
My former friend used to work at Muckleshoot. I'm going to hit him up this weekend.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he still works there. I haven't talked to him in a while. I'm going to hit him up.
That's tough.
See if he's still working there. See if we can work something out for you guys to have a live show at Muckleshoot in March. We got to get you boys out here to the PNW. But my question is, if everything falls through, if I can work something out for you guys to set up, you come to Muckleshoot, how can I reach out to the team? How can I get in contact with you guys to set things up for Muckleshoot in March? All right, boys, that's it. Appreciate you, boys. Love listening to you every week. Deuces.
Okay, the Muckleshoot thing is starting to actually become somewhat real here. All jokes aside, Muckleshoot looks incredible. The plan would be, if we can actually make this happen, fly out Wednesday evening. Touchdown in Seattle that night. Be a bit of a late night. We'll get 3 hours back. Get up next morning. Live show from Muckleshoot at 10 a.m. Obviously Pacific Northwest time. Spend all day at the shoot, just chilling.
Enjoying
the shoot or the muck. I kind of like the muck, hanging out in the muck. Hanging out in the muck at the shoot, at the casino, enjoying the sights to be seen, enjoying life, living large all Thursday. Get up Friday morning, drive into Seattle. Maybe film a fight feast, enjoy ourselves in beautiful Seattle. All day Friday, Saturday, enjoy the day, go into the fights. Israel Adesanya, Joe Pyfer main event. Fly back Sunday.
Yeah, it's feeling more and more real. I feel like we gotta.
I feel like we actually gotta.
To answer your question, my email is in my X profile, so you can email me if you ever happen to figure out if your friend still works there and if we can get a connect. Transparently, I have sent an email. I have reached out. I have sent an email to the director of marketing at Muckleshoot Casino. I want this to happen. I want this to happen. And this is another plea. Direct to camera plea. Robert, please. Make our dreams come true.
I'm looking at pictures right now, and it's just
we want the Muckleshoot experience.
It's absolutely beautiful. It looks like a five-star venue.
So if we do it, is it the boys in the muck? Is that the show?
I think it would be the boys at the muck.
The boys at the muck. The boys at the muck. Make it happen. Let's do it.
Absolute beauty, this place.
But yes, if you have any luck and your friend still works there and he's like, yeah, let me hook you up with the Muckleshoot.
Shout out to Muckleshoot.
What's up? Greg here from Maryland.
What's up,
I'm the
Greg?
teacher that called a few months ago saying that my 5th grade boys students sing your theme song, and you talked about your memories of loving the Goosebumps series and Recess and all that. Thanks for all that. I had mentioned the joy you brought me after losing my dad, and listening this past week to Sully calling in about the tragedy with his mom and dad and brother had me thinking a lot about what he said, about telling your loved ones that you love them because you never know. I definitely related to that because of my dad passing unexpectedly, and with that in mind, I wanted to call for two things. One, a question for you guys, and one, a challenge. The question is, who is someone in your life, other than a family member, who really impacted your life? Maybe they gave you advice or taught you something through their own example, someone that you look up to. And my one challenge is for you to call them up or text or email, somehow let them know how much they meant to you. My hero, Mr. Rogers, once said, if you could only sense how important you are to the lives of those you meet, how important you can be to the people you may never even dream of, there is something of yourself that you leave at every meeting with another person. Thank you guys, Rick, GC, Frank, for being important in my life, and shout out to Sully, his brother, his dad, and his mom.
Man, fantastic call. Fantastic call. Shout out to Sully. I hope he's doing all right. I hope he's doing better this week. A little bit better every day. Yeah, a lot of comments on Sully. A very, emotional call last week.
I hope he's doing well, man.
I hope you're doing well as well. I really like that call. I like the challenge. The question, Someone outside of a family member?
Mine's probably obvious and easy, but like Ariel is that guy for me. Like outside of my family, nobody has been more significant in terms of mentorship, helping me with opportunities and doing all those things along the way of my career than Ariel Helwani. Like I am here today because of that. And I have no shame at all in saying that. You know, could I say it more? Do I have to call him after the show? Maybe I do it right here on camera.
Yeah, let's do it right
now. We read the email one more time. But yes, like Ariel is that guy for me. Like my career goes drastically differently if not for him and all the opportunities that he's provided for me and faith that he had in me to kind of deliver that. And our relationship has lasted a very long time. There's another gentleman named John Beer, who I also worked with at Jack Taylor PR, another job opportunity, who mentored me in a major way, like kind of just made me grow up fast. I was a young PR executive, and some of the pieces of wisdom and opportunities that he presented to me challenged me in a way that I hadn't been before, and I really had to like use my brain and learn quickly. So those are probably the two guys, Ariel Helwani and John Beer.
Nicely said.
Yeah, Ariel Helwani's a good one. A good one. My career is not where it is today without him. That is a definite. I'll go back even further to a classmate I had in college, Jamie, who introduced me to someone who worked at the CW, who gave me an internship at the CW, who introduced me to someone who worked at 680 The Fan, the Atlanta sports radio station, which I there met this host, John Kincaid, who used to work at ESPN Radio in Bristol, Connecticut, who I then got the job at ESPN because he like called in and was like, yeah, look at this kid's resume. Get the job at ESPN Radio, which leads me to meeting Helwani, which leads me to me being now. Like you talk about just like butterfly effect.
He's that first domino when you tip
and it was just me being like, what'd you do as an internship last year? And she was like, oh, I was at the CW. When's like, oh, you got anybody? You got to connect there? And like, that's what started this entire butterfly effect.
When is the last time you spoke to that person?
It's been years. It's been years. It's a good point.
You got to call them up or send them a text.
It's been years. Yeah, a text might be good. She went on to be like social media for the Rams. And like one time they were on Monday Night Football and I saw her and I was like, yep. It was the Leo moment.
Yeah, mine's going to be easier. I'm going to text Helwani after the show and be like, thanks so much for what you do. That voicemail meant a lot. He's going to say, what the fuck are you talking about?
I don't watch that shit.
I've never seen that stupid fucking show.
I answer the question and rise to the challenge because I would actually say that Conor Burks himself.
Wow, I love that. How touching,
an individual
Frank.
that I want you to know. I deeply care about you and really appreciate everything that you've done. It's less transactional because, to be honest, like, while you didn't get me a job or anything, you built my comfort. Like, we couldn't be further apart from each other, but at the same time, like, your love of learning and how smart you are. There's just been a smile on my face since I met you, and that's helped me get more comfortable with other people that we work with to where now it doesn't really feel like work. It just, as Ariel kind of pointed out yesterday, like, we're all just like a group of friends.
That's touching, Frank. I really appreciate it, man.
Cut to,
and to my uncle.
Ariel saying his uncle, Frank saying his uncle died, and Connor just standing there with a scowl.
Just staring right at him.
No, I appreciate that, Frank.
No, that is really nice.
Frank, I consider everyone in the control room a friend, but early on, me and Frank really bonded over watching a lot of UFC together before we did the watch party, and we were kind of like diving into the sport together. So I do appreciate that, Frankie.
Jordan, Andy, you guys got any like mentors or anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, they left. Okay.
Okay.
Show's running itself.
Hey, wow.
I do. So when I was in college, I did an externship, which is a one-day internship pretty much, and I met this woman at WESH, which is a news station in Orlando, and she was like, I get good vibes from you. Do you want to be an intern? And I was like, yeah, what do I do? And she's like, I don't know. We've never had an intern before. Let's figure it out. So they built this program for me, and I ended up working for her, then for her husband, and then came back to work at WESH for a few more years. But she pretty much became my parents when I was away for college. So Debbie and Mike, if you're listening, I appreciate you guys, and I haven't called you in a while.
Yeah,
I love you both.
Call him after the show. That's amazing. Jordan anything?
Do it, man.
He doesn't give
Come
a shit.
No, I had a boss at my internship in D.C. Who he trusted me to go out to it used to be called the Redskins training camp. And, you know, we were all interns, so we were tasked with going with the cameraman and getting sound after practice. And I was like, oh, we're there to get sound, which means we were supposed to ask questions. And then after training camp, he was like, you know, you're the only person that actually went out and asked questions. And, you know, when we're in the office, you're the one who's proactive. And he's like, I really appreciate it. You clearly know kind of what you want to do. And he kind of just instilled that confidence in me that I could do this job and go on to do other jobs. And then at CBS News, I also had a executive producer who like trusted me to make big decisions. And when I was leaving there, he's like, yeah, this job is way below you. You want to be doing kind of the job that I'm doing. And here we are.
Here we are, man. What a great phone call that was.
Yeah, it is a really good reminder that, like, there's so many people who have had such a major impact on our lives. Obviously, he excluded family for a reason, right? Like, our families are so important. They're you know, the nature and the nurture
like
part of how we...
It's dad.
Yeah, it's dad, it's mom, it's brother, it's sister, it's aunt, it's uncle. But there are people that just, like, cross through your life, and you meet them at the right time, and it all changes.
1000%, man. 1000%.
Those are great.
What's up, boys? Moxon from Utah.
What's up,
I always mention Utah when I come on here because Utah is such an infamous place with the UFC, especially with head kicks and shit like that. But I was listening to last week's episode. I just wanted to give a shout out to Sully, with everything that you're going through. I just want to let you know a lot of people are going through everything, and grief like that is just the unexpressed love that you forgot to show people. Not that you forgot to show them, it's that you weren't able to show them just because, you know, shit got cut short or things happen. But everyone just needs to hear that grief, it will be okay, and it's okay to miss somebody, because if you didn't miss somebody, that means that you didn't love them enough. So everybody here, thank you. Boys in the back, Frank, go fuck yourself a little bit. Andy, Jordan, everybody else that doesn't get mentioned a lot. W's in the chat. Big ups to the chat. Thumbs up in the chat. Yeah. People got shit going on, but brother, you'll make it through. We're all here for you. Genuinely. Peace.
Great call, man. Shout out to Utah. Very touching stuff to see, you know, people coming to the support of Sully from 100%. One voicemail and then calling in with the support through other voicemails. It is nice to see.
And I'm sure there were more, and yeah, like Sully being vulnerable in that way clearly resonated with all these people. Like, is Boys in the Back the number one, like, self-help, you know, inspirational show in the entire universe? Do we need to just switch to that?
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody who leaves voicemails. Like, we appreciate you guys so much. If we're even a small part of making your day a little bit better, it means the world to us, and thank you.
Hi, Boys in the Back. This is Andrew from New York City. I'm making my first trip out to Las Vegas for a work conference in March. I'm taking a couple extra days with the hopes of going to UFC 326.
Sick.
My question for you guys, how does one book a tour at the UFC PI? I've been looking it up online. I can't find anything. So is it something that any of us peasants can do, or is it something that you need like a UFC plug to get into? Thanks for the info, boys. Peace.
Yeah.
Got some bad news, brother.
Unfortunately, it is you have to have a connect. We were fortunate enough to get one. Yeah. I want to say you're not missing much, but I'd be lying, baby. The Metapex changed my life, and it certainly would have changed yours. First time in Vegas. Enjoy. Yeah, I remember my first time in Vegas. UFC 300.
Yeah, I was about to say, it wasn't that long ago. You do just need to know somebody at the UFC, though, which I don't think is like that high a barrier to entry. You just start trying to make friends with people who work at the UFC.
Go on LinkedIn and just start blind messaging.
Yeah, exactly. See if you can forge some kind of connection. They have quite a compound there, quite a facility.
It's a great point.
I'm sure Dana White might be a good person to try and make friends with. He seems available. He seems like
for sure.
He's open for, you know, friendship with strangers.
That's fucking illegal.
Hit up Zuckerberg. He's got to have some pull now.
Well, they got the naming rights now. They own the building.
Boys, I got a question.
Okay.
How long have you guys known that Kayla was going to have this injury? Let's just be real. You guys have seen her way more recent than anyone else, and why are we only finding out 10 hours ago? Like, not even how many days before the... Oh, my God, this is killing me. The one fight I'm looking forward to, and... I hope she's okay. I hope the surgery is okay, but damn, man. Damn. I wish this would have gotten out sooner, man, so they could have found a replacement, given Amanda a tune-up, a can, something. Just, damn, my heart's broken. How long have you guys known?
We have not. We have not known. I saw a tweet at like 12:15, and I was like, "Yo, did you guys see this?" And then we kind of went from there. There are times where it's we are privy to it. Like Ariel wasn't joking on the show yesterday. Like Izzy versus Joe Pyfer, we had known about for like 10 days. But yeah, this Kayla thing, we had no clue, man.
Yeah, and I think this was kind of kept decently under wraps because it sounds like Kayla had probably been aware that she was going to need surgery for a certain amount of time, and ends up having the surgery on the day that the news actually comes out, or actually the day after. The gentleman from the Eagle Times, whatever it was called. Eagle Tribune had that story the day before, but they had kept it under wraps. We did not know.
Yo, Rick. Yo, GC. Shout out. But my question's for Frank. How did you and your mother celebrate Feast of Ass Day last night? Let us know.
My mother and I don't talk anymore. Not since the incident. That's the last voicemail, guys.
What a way to end it. Shout out to the Feast of the Ass. Yeah, I thought that was just Frank's birthday. A typical night out in Frank's teenage years.
I love the voicemail that's like, love everyone, that's great, Frank, go fuck yourself. Oh, Andy, I love you.
That's the stuff. I believe we got some intel from one Helwani about
we have something.
Oh, there it is. You're right. I don't watch that stupid effing show. Proof he does watch. Shout out to Helwani.
We love you. I love you.
What is
meant
this?
every word.
We don't get a we. We love you, brother. I was the only one that responded.
Who the fuck is we?
Message,
No, well,
that was a little.
That's true.
That was the only one that responded.
I was the only one.
Emoji'd.
I was the only one has picked him as my influence.
Yeah.
You could have picked him.
He picked him as well.
You picked him as yours, and then I was like, the obvious choice. I was like, I'll go with
It was nice of Frank to pick you, and then I'm just sitting here like a fucking dickhead,
nice.
just being like,
Listen, man, you got to remember during the MMA Hour days when me and Frank we kind of coincided on our entry into the show.
It's all good.
Bonds had to be made. We had a bond against Mr. Monday Afternoon.
I haven't heard that in a while.
Any super chats, Frankie?
Super chats. Yep. And this one says, with the UFC needing superstars extra title fights because of the White House, my bold prediction is there will be another weight class added in 2026. 165 maybe? Question mark.
No.
I'll believe 165 when I see it, man.
There will be no 165. Also, the thing has always been 165, 170. Like it messes up too much stuff. 165, 175 are not coming.
Devin writes back, my wife had a dream about running away with our favorite fighter, Diego Lopez. What do I do? I'm a skinny white Irish guy.
Yeah, honey, you maybe could have just kept that one to yourself. Thanks, though. I appreciate it. Yeah. So now when you're watching his fight on January 31st at UFC 325, you're definitely going to be like, oh, okay, well, she's like just checking him out this whole time. She's probably going to dream about him that night, too, especially if he wins. If he becomes the champ, there's no stopping him.
Or when he loses to console him. She dreams of Diego just in a vulnerable spot.
I had a dream I ran away with Diego Lopez. I'm going to go file for divorce, thanks.
I do like how he included the details of how he's so polar opposite to Diego. Like
skinny white Irish dude. Yeah.
Oh, poor guy. Shout out. No, I don't know. I don't make too much of.
You just have to have a dream about someone else.
Yeah, that's
What is
it.
she into? British baking show or something? I had a dream about.
He's gonna
one of the
follow up
cooks.
next week, and he's gonna talk about it was a hall pass. Now, like we're gonna, it's gonna keep escalating.
A hall pass,
It's
that's a
gonna keep
dangerous
escalating.
subject, man. That's iffy. Because what if you one day you run into him? It's just like, well, I got the pass.
Shout out to your wife.
Canceled. Tachi Palace UFC. Dana lies a lot.
Yeah, shout out to the Tachi Palace. Yo, another one that I thought of that like
Federal fucking prison.
super duper sleeper is a lot of people don't remember this. Speaking of Movsar, Movsar and Ilia were supposed to fight on UFC 270.
No shit.
At the start of 2022, yeah, and it got canceled.
Who pulled out?
I'm almost positive it was Movsar because then Ilia was supposed to fight Charles Jourdain, and that one got canceled too.
Wow, look at your fucking memory. And it was the nasty Jaya Herbert knockout.
That was the
like
next
launches.
one. He ended up not fighting.
He fight on the card.
He fought
Okay.
in London. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evloev withdrew. Yeah, I remember actually being like super excited for that. 2 undefeated guys.
Well, guess what?
UFC 272 nailed it. Ghana.
This is the year
Anaheim.
of Movsar Evloev.
Yeah.
March, beats Lerone Murphy. October, title shot.
Okay, sign me up.
Wins.
Lastly, heartbreak when they stopped MTV Rock and Jock B-ball / baseball.
Man.
Yeah.
Rock and Jock was
big.
so good.
That's a lazy bed, man. I can't quite get lazy bed vibes. Sometimes
What do you mean?
Sometimes in the chat shitting on us. Other times it's friendly
He's a bit of a wild card.
Wild card, just don't know what you're gonna get. But he's always there, so shout out to Lazy Bed.
Shout out to Lazy Bed. Rock and Jock was so sick, man. The idea of like pop stars and like entertainers in other sports had never even crossed my mind. And when I saw like Brian McKnight dunking, I was like, and Dan Cortese like fucking hitting home runs like 600 feet. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? Like I was such a young kid. My brain had only developed like sports star athletes, entertainers. And then when I saw them doing it, when I see Leonardo DiCaprio shooting a 300.3 because he hit it through 3 baskets, I was like, what the fuck is this? It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I was a big Rock and Jock guy.
Shout out Rock and Jock.
Getting like, you'd have like Leo getting dunked on by Sean Kemp. It was like the weirdest shit, but the best shit.
Incredible.
That was it.
All right.
That was it. I did want to say one last video that we didn't get to. Conor McGregor and Sean Penn linking up out in Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, am I tripping? Or is Sean Penn driving an Irish bus, folks?
An Irish
That's Sean
bus.
Penn, yeah? Shawty! Nah. That's Sean Penn, folks. He's driving an Irish bus. Fair play to him.
Fair play to
The
him.
man's the real hero, Shani. I'm not even gonna. Actually, I will. Shawty! Shawty! Go, quick, try it. Shawty! Yup, boy. It's not Hollywood, but it's Ireland. Yup.
Okay. Am I tripping or is that Sean Penn driving an Irish bus? I might put
You dick.
I might put Yup Ya Boy into my repertoire. Yup Ya Boy!
Side profile, Sean Penn.
The
front, not Sean Penn
at all.
Spicoli himself. Man. Come on.
The wrinkly skin with the white hair. I actually just watched One Battle After Another.
Fantastic.
With Leo. Sean Penn kills it. Sean Penn is one of my biggest cigarette inspirations.
Oh yeah,
Guy
From
was-
I Am Sam.
Just about any movie. Him at like award shows, he's like ripping heaters. Him with the slicked hair, smoking a cigarette, tough to beat. Tough
Yeah.
to beat.
There he is.
Yup, ya boy!
Johnny.
Shawnee.
Am I tripping or is Sean Penn driving an Irish bus right now? I love how he clarifies. An Irish bus. Yup, ya boy! That might be a good drop.
You start with What's Up Hollywood, and you end with Yup Ya Boy.
Ya boy! All right. Think that about does it for us here.
Yeah.
Clean 223 for the boys in the back on this day. No UFC this weekend, but it's the last weekend. We're going to say that for a while. UFC 324 next week. Can't wait to get to it. Is there anything this weekend?
Peace and love, peace and love.
I don't know. That'll do it for us. Till next time.
Peace and love. Peace and love.